out reporter, post-game, pre-game. Now he's one of my favorite play-by-play guys in not only football, but basketball and baseball. So we'll get DK and Tom Hart before the week's over with today.
And 9 hot dogs.
Yeah, we got to work on the hot dog thing as well. Before we go, though, couple of things I didn't get to. One of them, Marcell Ozuna for you Braves fans. We got a pennant race coming up here at 12:15. Ush is ready to talk baseball with you guys, but it looks like Marcell Ozuna is going to be on the trading blocks for the Braves. Tigers, Brewers, Padres, likely landing spot. And then this craze continued at the All-Star game. Ketel Marte joined Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Joe Burrow, and now Andre Johnson as celebrities, athletes who had their home robbed while they were at a function. Mahomes and Kelce and Burrow, all when they were playing primetime football games, got their home burglarized. Marte, when he's playing in the All-Star game, all from the same, they believe, the same ring that is targeting athletes. Do you post on social media when you're going on vacation or anything?
I actually had this conversation. It was a couple of years ago, and I was going on a trip with my family, and we were going to be gone for 2 weeks. And my dad was like, you need to be careful about, the first day that we're gone, sending anything out, because there's someone that, knows where we live, and they see,
right.
You're in another country. You're probably not going to be home tomorrow. It's not safe.
Yeah, we always talked about that on the show back in the day. It was like, we had a more intense security system at our house because when I did late local news, because they knew I would be
gone
5, 6, and 10 every night. Even though somebody was at the house, I wasn't there, so I was always scared that they knew I'd be at 10 o'clock at night. They knew where I would be. These athletes,
you can't avoid that.
Yeah, you know where the schedule is.
Yep.
You know when they're on TV. And this, I'm trying not to use the word cartel, but apparently the FBI and those that are investigating believe they're from another country.
The next round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey friends, if you're looking to expand your business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us at sales@nextroundlive.com to be part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential consumers on our ever-expanding platform. Let the Next Round help take your business to the next level. Get more information by emailing us at sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, live show now on a Wednesday, halfway through the week. The guys continued their vacation, much deserved. LT and Brownie off, not together. I got a couple of messages yesterday. They're like, do you have FOMO, Jim, that LT and Brown are off on vacation together? Wait a second. They're not on vacation together, are you guys? Are they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Tyler Forster, I mean, I will have FOMO if they're on vacation together. They're off at the same time, but they're not together, right?
Not to my knowledge.
Did they tell you not to tell me that?
They didn't tell me anything.
Okay. They're off the rest of the week. Forster?
No,
okay.
They're not together.
Taylor Korn, Jim Dunaway, Tyler and Forster behind the big glass. EG's on campus at Auburn today. News conference just now starting down on the plains for Hugh Freeze. Little T is going to be watching the Twitter feed there to see what Hugh says about Malcolm Simmons in his opening statements, if he gets to that at all. The report is Malcolm Simmons with the team, and we'll see what Coach Freeze says about that. A lot of you were reacting to that yesterday. We got a ton of stuff to get to on the show today. A couple of guests who have never been here before. Brett Ciancia is the creator of Pick Six Previews, one of the more accurate and reputable preseason magazines. He's on with he's on with Peter Burns and Doring this morning. He'll be on with us coming up in about an hour to talk about some of his projections and his preseason magazine. He's sort of a new generation Phil Steele if you're looking for that kind of stuff. Pick Six Previews. He'll be with us in an hour. We'll check in on the Georgia camp and Kaylee Mansell of DawgNation. She'll be with us. And then Danny Kanell himself. Had Danny's name on my lips there to start with. He'll be with us in the final hour. And EG will join us from Auburn after the Hugh Freeze news conference before their first practice. It got moved from this morning to the afternoon. So EG will join us in the final hour of the show as well. Little T.
What's up?
You remember Gus Malzahn? Who was coach when you were at Auburn?
It was, yes, I remember Gus Malzahn.
Was he the coach at any point there?
My freshman year, I believe, and then I had some Brian Harsin, or freshman, sophomore maybe, and then I had some Brian Harsin / a Cadillac Williams appearance as interim.
But you were never there.
No. I wasn't there I was gone for the Cadillac.
Right, that's what I thought.
But I thought that because I was at the game. I was at that game.
Gus and Harsin were your coaches.
Yes.
You never had Hugh, but you got a little Gus. We'll talk Gus Malzahn in a second. But Forster has raised his hand on the back row. Already an Malcolm Simmons update.
Yeah. So I've got our show in my left ear, Hugh in my right ear. Hugh just said that Malcolm Simmons has been cleared to resume team activities.
Yes.
That's an interesting phrasing. That's interesting phrasing to me.
Say it again, Forster. How did he phrase it?
I believe he said cleared to resume team activities. I'm going to get it cut and we'll play it on the show here in a minute.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
Forster.
I'll tell you this. It was a big discussion on the golf course yesterday. 8 of us together, most of them Auburn grads, and there were some discussions about Malcolm Simmons and, hardcore beliefs on whether he should be on the team or not. And I had to make a point. I'm like, listen, every arrest doesn't always play out. It always looks one way on a police report. And sometimes it doesn't end up looking exactly like that when you get into the details of the case, or it ends up not being enforced that way, or some things fall through. So that's why I was always saying on Malcolm Simmons, let's wait until all the stuff comes out and we'll see what it looks like when it happens. So we'll hear from Hugh Freeze in a second, but apparently whatever is going on with Malcolm Simmons, whatever happened in that incident, which included the alleged strangulation. And again, I always point out, if that's in a police report, it doesn't always mean it's this. It could be a variety of different things. I was going to wait and see what the police report ended up being, what the charges ended up being, and then, of course, what Hugh Freeze ended up doing. And I had this point ready to make. Florida, one of their starting defensive backs, Dijon Johnson, is on the team and in camp. He had all charges dropped from a May 2nd arrest that was felony possession of a controlled substance, felony firearm charges, and resisting arrest. That was on May 2nd. He's on the team, and all the charges have been dropped. Those are some serious charges.
Very, and that seems like it's a lot more cut and dry than because at this point, from what has been reported, the situation with Malcolm it's an accusation, right? He's been accused of doing this, and they haven't gone to court or anything like that and say, hey, this is what's going on. But something that I heard yesterday, actually, when reports started coming out that he had reported to participate in team activities, were that this isn't up to the coaching staff. This comes down to I believe it was the Title IX. Title
IX. It's a university thing at every university. Yeah.
Right, which I didn't really think about it in that sense, because I figured it would be John Cohen and Hugh Freeze are sitting down saying, let's gather the facts, let's gather the information, and then let's make, a decision based off of what's placed in front of us. But it does seem like this isn't really in Hugh Freeze's hands. He's going to be told yes he can participate or no he cannot based off of.
Yeah, I mean, in some sense that is true. Like in this sense, if I'm a football coach, we'll just take Auburn out of it. Oh, we'll use Auburn. If I'm Hugh Freeze and I want him to play,
yeah,
the university can say no because of Title IX. He can't play if it rises to that. Mm-hmm. So the football coach doesn't always get the last say.
Right.
But the university could clear him, and the football coach could say,
no.
Okay, that's fine. He's cleared by the university, but I'm going to discipline him, and he's not part of the team, or he's no longer part of the program, or he's going to be suspended for a certain number of games. So the coach can still control it, even if the university clears him or doesn't clear him.
Right.
If the university clears him, he can. Hugh Freeze announces Auburn University has cleared Malcolm Simmons to participate. So there's the Auburn University part, has cleared him to participate. And we'll see what Hugh does. Instant reaction from a lot of you. And this is the way it was on the golf course yesterday with my Auburn buddies. There were some that were like, listen, even the allegation, I don't want any part of the program.
Yeah.
We're better than that at Auburn, is what one of my buddies was saying. Don't want any part of the program. And the others were like, Hugh needs to win. If he's, let's see how this plays out, Hugh needs to win. I made the point of any position on the team, the one position that you are very deep at is what?
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I think, at the end of the day, it's if he did what he's being accused of doing, then he shouldn't be on the team.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's wrong. But the fact, I don't think, and again, this is my opinion, but if they thought that this was going to turn into him being, proven guilty in court, why would they risk this right now? Because, you would think that you would lean to the side of precaution in a situation like this because of how serious the situation at hand is. So, I would assume that that's the way that they're going about this.
Forster, this is real-time turnaround right here. Great work by Scott Forster behind the glass. Hugh Freeze. Tyler, we're ready to go with this. Hugh Freeze standing by. His live news conference still going on talking football, but this is what he said about Malcolm Simmons seconds ago.
Hugh, any update on Malcolm Simmons and kind of his availability for you guys as you move forward?
Yeah, based on the information that I've been given from our campus administration, who have knowledge of the matter, he's been cleared to participate in team activities.
Yeah, so he's cleared to participate in team activities. That's a long way from playing. The first game is a big one, so, if you get suspended for some games, or maybe he has to do some up-downs, some stadiums, you don't know what the punishment's going to be, but he's cleared for team activities. So I wouldn't put the cart in front of the horse yet to say Malcolm Simmons doesn't face any issues down the road.
Right.
But at least right now, he's cleared by the university to participate and do whatever Hugh Freeze and the coaching staff thinks. That's one of the storylines going on down at Auburn as they open up camp. Hugh Freeze, we'll have more from him later in the show from that news conference. And then Emily Grace McWhorter, who's sitting in there and sending us that information as it was breaking, will join us live to give us her thoughts on everything she's gathered in campus. She'll be with us in about 2 hours down on campus in the final hour of the show. I want to talk a little Gus Malzahn with you here in a second because he's he's ready to play the villain. He's ready to play the villain again in the Alabama football season. We'll talk about that after I remind you the show is being brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV. It's time to start making your plans for this football season. We got football tomorrow night, NFL exhibition football. And Johnston RV Center is ready for fall camping and all the tailgating with you. Kick off the outdoor season with the Wolf Paul 116 LP for only $129 per month with approval credit right there. You can check out some of the nation's top-selling RVs at their website, johnstonrvcenter.com, johnstonrvcenter.com. 2 great locations, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, exit 334 in Decatur. Family-owned, family-operated. You can text them as well, that phone number, 256-957-1081. Guaranteed lowest prices. They're absolutely the best to deal with. And I'm telling you, you can get into those things at a great price and enjoy the great weather that's ahead for us this fall. It's unbelievable family time with our friends at Johnson RV, johnsonrvcenter.com. Tyler, if you'll give me cut number 11, some of you may have forgotten. Gus Malzahn's not a head coach anymore. He's just a common, simple man from Arkansas who's now the offensive coordinator in Tallahassee, Florida, at Florida State. Their first game just happens to be against Alabama. For those that don't remember, Gus Malzahn as an offensive coordinator at Auburn, 2010, beats Alabama. As a head coach calling plays, 2013, beat Alabama. Gus Malzahn calling only the good plays, the offensive coordinator calling the bad plays in 2017, beats Alabama. Fan base snapping at the heels of Gus Malzahn, 2019, beats Alabama. Guy's been a thorn in Alabama's side a lot of places. He had a chance to meet the media yesterday and talk about his new role as the OC and having that familiar name, number one on the schedule for his new employer, Florida State.
Coming out of your first offseason, how has being just a coordinator freed you up? I mean, maybe allowed you to focus more on that?
There's no doubt. It's helped me tremendously focus on one side of the football. It's like almost a completely different job description than being a head coach. And so it's been good from the relationship side, getting to know the players, relationship-wise, and just worrying about one side of the ball.
When you open a season against a team like Alabama, can you sense that just around the guys, the excitement and focus maybe, as opposed to maybe starting with a lesser-known team?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, the urgency. I mean, we're going to play, one of the top defenses probably in college football. When you look at who they got coming back, their skill set and all that. So the urgency, not just for the players, but the coaches, we understand. And you got to be strategic. You got to be strategic in fall camp, and so. What is it, 32 days away, something like that. It'll be here before we know it.
Warchant.com with that. Boy, a lot of flashbacks right there. It sounded like he was coaching at Auburn again. The sound bites haven't changed.
I don't know if surprised is the right word, but in those situations, being asked, do you feel a different sense of urgency? I think that, it's human nature when, you have a rivalry game or a game against a opponent like Alabama in front of you on your schedule. Things are a little bit different, but the typical response you hear is, it's a nameless, faceless opponent. We treat everyone the same. But I guess then again, Thomas Castellano's comments have also probably
changed that a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say this, though, too. If you're the offensive coordinator, you want to play up that you happen to be playing one of the nation's best defenses in the first game. Because if my offense looks really, really good, everybody pat me on the back.
Right.
We just did this against one of the hey, that was one of the nation's best defenses. If things go bad, I can walk in and say, hey, it's okay, guys. We're going to be better. That was one of the nation's. We're not going to face a better defense than that one right there. So I play it up like Gus is playing.
Yeah.
Forrester, that word he used right there in Taylor, y'all have heard that before. Auburn fans in the chat room, you've heard that before. What was it? It wasn't strategery that he used, like President Bush used to say, strategery, but it was close, wasn't it, Tyler? He dropped the way he says strategy and strategize and all of that. Man, that is some instant feedback to the Auburn years of Gus's sound bites there. Weird to see him as an offensive coordinator. And I'd read, he had told some of the folks who cover Florida State that he was miserable last year as head coach at Central Florida. Miserable.
Really?
And if Mike Norvell had not reached out, his plan was to just retire.
Really?
He was done coaching. He was going to walk away and was not enjoying the game anymore. And he is excited about just being the offensive coordinator.
I wonder what that was, but I guess it probably has something to do with what he just said, and that's, half of the team, I don't want to say off your plate, but the responsibility of, the defense isn't necessarily your problem anymore, like it was when you were a head coach, and you have to have a hand in everything. Don't have
to, he's not responsible for all the booster obligations. I'm sure he shakes some hands. He probably has a very small portion of recruiting, I would imagine. I mean, he talked in that interview, I saw it, about recruiting and how he enjoys it, but Gus wasn't known as the most aggressive, I'm all in recruiter.
Especially on the offensive line.
Near the end, especially on the offensive line. Auburn's still paying that bill.
Yeah.
I mean, offensive line recruiting is like credit card debt at Auburn, right?
Yes.
You made a couple of purchases a few years ago and you're still paying it off with interest. Gus Malzahn, Florida State, getting ready for that opener, strategery as they get ready to play Alabama in that opener. So weird to see him in those colors, but if you're an Alabama person, having him calling plays on that sideline, because he's got Castellanos, and listen, he's not Nick Marshall, but he's got some Nick Marshall qualities. And the way Gus gets into the gray area about linemen downfield and this and that, it's enough to make an Alabama boy a little worried that
an Alabama boy named Jim Dunaway.
Yeah, an Alabama boy.
Does that really
spend my dollar, boy?
So that changes the way that you feel about it. Like that has 100%.
100%. And we'll talk about out-of-conference wins here in just a second in our opening segment here. And which ones we think will be the best for the SEC. But I am not. I know Lance and Brown and almost everybody sits here. I don't know how you feel about this opening game. Sits here and thinks, oh, you said it yesterday. You think Alabama blows Florida State out. And you still believe that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in there with Lance and Brownie and a lot of people who think it's 2-10 Florida State that's showing up to this game against one of the best teams in the country.
I don't know. Blowout. I think that Alabama will win comfortably is what I would say.
Okay. Not to put you on the spot, define comfortably. I've watched you watch a football and a basketball game before. When Auburn's playing, there's nothing comfortable for you. So now
because it's Auburn.
So now do Alabama for somebody who likes Alabama. What's comfortable?
Not a one-score game.
Not a one-score game.
I mean, I think at the end of in the final few minutes of the game, you're not going to be, on the edge of your seat. I think at that point it's.
My belief in that opening game is that it will not be the amount of points that Alabama fans thought it would be going in. Alabama will win the game. They may win it comfortably, but I don't think they're going to walk in and embarrass Florida State.
I'm trying to look and see what the point spread is right now.
Oh, it's up there.
Last time I looked, I'm pretty sure it was.
You're not going to say 21.5, are you?
No. It's 13.5.
13.5. Okay. I do believe that a lot of people think it's going to be like a 21-point game. So if I'll say it this way, if Florida State covers at 13.5, there'll be a lot of people that'll be like, oh, is Alabama any good? Have we overhyped Alabama? And I think they'll be wrong to do that.
I agree. And then you say, well, guys, look who their offensive coordinator is.
That's right. It depends on how the 13.5, if Florida State covers, how it plays out. But I think the game is going to be very close, probably right around 13 within a 2-score game. And I think there'll be moments that Gus Malzahn can make that great Alabama defense, and I do think they're great. But I think there'll be a play or two that Gus will make that defense look like it has a hole in it.
Well, that's what I was about to bring that up. I think if the game is close, it'll be more so offensive. I don't think that it'll be Alabama's defense giving up, an absurd amount of points. I think it would be, yes, there's talent. Alabama has talent on the offensive side of the ball, but they have a first-year starting quarterback, and this is game one. So how much were they able to, gel during fall camp? And then, you go from there. But I think that it would be more so offensive, miscommunication,
that's
more so than defensive
right?
slip-ups.
Yeah. Those Florida State people are going to be pumped. They got their new stadium, reduced capacity. They'll be in there with their whoa. They'll be doing all that. Closer than the experts think. My gut feeling as we sit here at the end of July, getting ready for college football. Let's talk about those out-of-conference games. We've had Joel Klatt and others say it's a big season for Southeastern Conference football on winning some of these big marquee out-of-conference games. So ask Taylor to come up with her 5 biggest out-of-conference wins. Who gets the best wins in the SEC this year? And I've got my 5. After I tell you about our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, you can schedule an absolutely free estimate right now. Yes, free, from our buddy Greg from Pell City He and his wife, family-owned Storm Restoration Roofing. 3 ways to do it. Go to the website, stormrestorationroofing.com. Or you can call Greg from Pell City, Greg Nelson, right there on his cell phone, 205-542-3531. Or just go to Facebook. Maybe you're like me. You're socially awkward. You don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to DM somebody. Slide into Greg's DMs right there. Greg from Pell City on Facebook. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They handle storm damage, roofing replacements. And Greg even has a builder's license so he can help with restoration or repairs. He's great with insurance agencies because he's been doing this for over 20 years locally. So that helps you. That helps you with your insurance provider and your insurance claims because of his relationships with your insurance providers. It's Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531, and our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. This may be the first time you've ever written on the dry erase board on the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember
it might be.
One time we co-hosted on another time when both the dudes were off, and I think it was right before the holidays, and we did a little bowl pick'em, and I had pre-written, and you checked the winner or loser.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember you've ever written. So
so this is the reveal of my atrocious handwriting.
Okay, so Forrester and Tyler will agree that of everybody that we've seen up here write, Lance's handwriting is by far, like his is the worst, and I don't know who is second, right? Tyler?
I think Lance is the worst, but that's just because I haven't been up there writing.
Oh, so your handwriting.
My handwriting is barely readable.
So is Lance's, though.
Yeah, Lance writes like a doctor writing a prescription in 1978. Like you don't know what he just wrote down. Before computers, when the doctors had to write it out, and some old lady, nurse, would walk back, the younger nurse would say, I don't know how to call this in. I can't read Dr. Jones's handwriting. And the old lady who's known Dr. Jones since way back in the day would go, oh, it's penicillin, baby. Just call in some penicillin. You can't read Lance's writing. He writes like a 1978 doctor. You say yours is bad.
Mine's bad.
Okay. Before we get into the games, let's see Taylor's on the dry erase board. That's not bad.
That is not bad at all.
I mean,
I can read every letter.
Yeah.
I think you can read it, but I mean, this isn't anything that should be like EG's handwriting could be used to design something.
Right. EG by far has the best in the history of the company.
She's into like calligraphy and all that.
Yeah. So EG's is the gold medal, and Lance is the toilet bowl.
Yeah. I feel like I'm somewhere in between.
And then we're all in between. I mean, yours may be better than mine. I write like a girl.
I mean, writing on, I will say.
And ironically, you write like a boy. It works out good.
I kind of do. And writing on this, I think that I can write better on a piece of paper than I can on a dry erase board, but I'm glad that y'all can read it.
Okay, so
that's all that matters.
Here is your Taylor Corn's 5. I want to see a graphic on this today at some point. Taylor Corn's 5. Taylor Corn's 5 best out-of-conference wins for the SEC, and then I've got mine behind here. You said we're going to agree on a lot of these.
I thought. I
don't think we are.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think that I have more confidence in our conference than you do.
Okay.
So I think that LSU will win a season opener at Clemson.
Okay. Last time LSU, I don't even know if you had your driver's license last time LSU won an opener.
In 2019?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I'm kidding.
Or is that right?
I think
Wasn't
it was
2019?
2019. I think so.
So I think that.
Seriously, how old were you in 2019?
20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could not.
I could drive. I couldn't legally drink.
Couldn't legally drink. Yeah.
Right.
The last time LSU won an opener, but they'll do it at Clemson. Okay.
Yeah, according to my whiteboard. Texas at Ohio State.
Interesting. Now you got 2 first-time starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
Julian Sayin and Arch Manning.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that Texas is a popular pick to win the national championship. I don't know. I'm getting.
I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the show always think I'm always arguing with Lance and Ryan. I just play the other side.
Yeah, fair.
Caleb Downs may be the best player in college football.
Yeah.
Won't win the Heisman, but maybe the best player at his position in college football. If I put the over-under Caleb Downs interceptions of Arch Manning at 1.5, would you go over or under?
Under.
Under.
I wouldn't be surprised
if I put it at a half.
Over.
Over. You think he gets one, though? You think he gets at least one?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I do too.
I just feel like Arch is going to be very composed. because of, I mean, the way that he carries himself.
Go ahead and say it, because of his DNA. You think?
Yeah, well, yeah, and
he's
I mean,
been around
this is nothing is new. This isn't new.
That's
I mean,
right.
he's playing in it for the first time this season as the starter, but I mean, I just think, yeah, it's in his DNA.
Tyler, let me see the chat room again. I want to see what people are saying about those two upsets. I mean, I think a lot of people who believe in the SEC thinks LSU can beat Clemson or will beat Clemson.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think Texas will go in and beat Ohio State.
Okay.
What are your others?
Florida at Miami, assuming that DJ Lagway's healthy, which I think that he will be recovered from his calf, whatever's going on with his calf.
Napier's confident. We'll hear from him later in the show.
And then I think South Carolina will beat Clemson also.
So you think South Carolina will beat Clemson?
Yep. And then I think that Auburn will start the season with a win over Baylor.
Wow. But it makes your top 5, so big enough win that it'll be one of the best out-of-conference win in the SEC. I'm not questioning. I'm just saying that's
Auburn
a big
over
win.
Baylor?
Yeah.
I think so, just because in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this week, was it Taylor Tannenbaum who said it? I think that there's a lot of anticipation around what Auburn will look like this season, because 2 seasons ago, it was, okay, you're rebuilding. Last year, you've had 2 top 10 recruiting classes. Let's see if there's improvement. There wasn't. And now the talent isn't the problem. Auburn's roster has a lot of talent, and I think that there are eyeballs on it, and if they lose that game, I think it's going to be, I mean, it will be a meltdown from Auburn fans. But
so the 5 best SEC out-of-conference wins right there. I am sort of
you think that
middle of the road SEC out-of-conference wins. I don't think LSU beats Clemson.
Okay.
I don't think Texas beats Ohio State.
Really?
So our list is very different at this point. I don't think Auburn beating Baylor, by the time we get to the end of the year, what Baylor ends up being, I don't think that will resonate being
a top 5.
A top 5 SEC out-of-conference win.
So you think Baylor's overhyped?
I just think they will be
mediocre, maybe?
Houston, Texas Bowl, whatever bowl you go to in your middle of the pack, Big 12. They'll be a bowl team.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll rise up to these. I've got 2 major upsets in mind.
Okay.
I think the biggest out-of-conference win this year will be Arkansas upsetting Notre Dame.
That was one of my reserves.
Because Notre Dame will be good. Notre Dame will beat Texas A&M, but I think they get caught in Arkansas. I agree with you. I think Florida beats Miami, and I think Miami will end up being good, so that'll look like, to me, for it to be a major out-of-conference win, the team you beat has to still be pretty good at the end of the year. Notre Dame will be good. Miami will be good. Mississippi State will upset Arizona State. I think that'll be early enough, and Mississippi State has so much suck in them right now that people will go, dang, look at the SEC. That team picked 16th.
Right.
Just beat a playoff team.
Yeah.
Hell State and Starkville. Ring those bells. I think Oklahoma beats Michigan. Didn't make your list in Ann Arbor. And then I think Bama beats Florida State. And you say, Jim, how does that make the list? And you're bashing on my Auburn Baylor. First of all, I like Alabama. You like Auburn. But I think Florida State ends up being pretty good. I think they end up being a 9-win team this year. And I think that ends up looking like a pretty good out-of-conference win.
Wait, why is your face at the top not smiling?
It's this. It's because I really want. And the SEC needs LSU.
You want this?
LSU needs the win over Clemson. The SEC needs Texas over Ohio State. SEC needs Auburn over Baylor. SEC needs all these wins this year.
Yeah,
because right now we're deciding what the college football playoffs are going to look like, and the SEC has one plan and the Big Ten has another plan. You know what makes people, listen, everybody's on the SEC side in this, but you know what? Our Danny Kanell's on the show later on. You know what shuts up Danny Kanell really fast? LSU going into the other Death Valley and beating Clemson. Texas going into the Horseshoe and beating Ohio State. That really sets the tone for the whole season. So I hope those two happen. I just don't think either one will.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Or I suck at picking, and we'll see what happens. I do suck at picking. We know that. All right. Best 5 out-of-conference wins. Send us yours over in the chat room. We appreciate you guys being with us. Alexander Shunnarah, Trial Attorney Hotline. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk to the guy who puts out Pick 6 previews. as he does a radio tour today. Our show being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Bojangles. 7 sauces that will definitely add a little extra flavor to every bite you get for lunch or dinner today at Bojangles. From sweet heat to other great flavors, Bojangles has those hand-breaded tenders that are waiting for you to consume today. Honey mustard, barbecue, creamy buffalo, peach honey pepper, house-made ranch, and so much more. Hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce. It is Bo time. And also our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. They're there for your health, and not just for men. They'll take care of the women in your life, too. But for the guys listening, from prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between, they have you covered with 16 locations. Find the one near you, 205-930-0920, or urologycentersalabama.com. For over 70 years, UCA has provided the state of Alabama with the state-of-the-art, patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. That's why I use the fine folks at urologycentersalabama.com. Back in a moment on the next round.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles, The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a Bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and Bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, back with you. 24 days away from the start of the college football season as we get ready for week 0 coming up. That puts us 31 days, I guess, away from Alabama and Auburn football. Camps opening today in both Tuscaloosa and Auburn. Taylor Corn, Jim Dunaway, EG joins this final hour from down in Auburn. The guys are off, as I said. Tyler and Forrester behind the big glass as we do everything for you at Next Round Live today. At Next Round Live today, football returns tomorrow night. NFL-wise, exhibition football, Chargers and Lions Hall of Fame game. Trey Lance will get the start for the Chargers. The starting quarterbacks will not play in that one, 7 o'clock as you watch that game. I've noticed on your social media feed and Forrester's and the LA Chargers, one young wide receiver has been burning up Chargers camp.
Yeah, I think that that Chargers fans throughout camp are probably a little bit excited about Keandre Lambert-Smith. He did great things for Auburn last season. Obviously was at Penn State prior to his one season playing under Hugh Freeze. But what will his role be on this team? Who knows? But he's made some pretty impressive catches so far.
Jim Harbaugh says he actually called Keandre out in the news conference saying he's actually looking forward to him getting extended playing time in this first exhibition game to see what he can do in this setting. So, reasons to watch NFL exhibition football. Maybe find your favorite player that played at your school, like a Keandre Lambert-Smith or whomever. Trey Lance getting the start for the Chargers and Lions. Don't expect to see any, really, of our buddy Terrion Arnold, but who knows how they'll play the ones with Detroit. I haven't really seen an update on the ones out there, but big year for Terrion. I hope he takes another step forward. If you had to list of all of our favorite interviews, NIL interviews, he's near the top, isn't he?
Oh, he is number one, no debate.
Yeah.
No debate. He's an incredible interview. Yeah. An incredible interview. He's very charismatic. He's energetic. He has a great personality. He's funny. He's a great storyteller, I think is what it is. And a lot of times what I noticed when he did his NIL interviews with us is that he related almost everything back to a story. And they were all funny stories.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him.
Can't wait to see his second season in the National Football League. That starts tomorrow night. Back to college, but first I'm getting tweets from everywhere, including Peter Burns and Michael Casagrande, and it's out of context. I don't even know what we're talking about here. Quote: "You need length and girth. You need length and I'll say it again. You need length and girth in this league." Hugh Freeze, out of context today.
I think I have a new trash open.
Oh, okay. We'll see. Maybe
Quick
today.
Work.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't wait to hear how he was using length and girth in this league.
I'm trying to, because I read the quote. I'm trying to find, because there was one that also included the following sentence, but I can't. My Twitter feed
is going too
updated
fast.
And I've lost it.
Yeah. Our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa can keep the special somebody in your life from losing it. Football season starting back tomorrow night, as I said, and thank you to your wife or girlfriend. Maybe a gift certificate right there to Woodhouse Day Spa would help. We got one right near our studio, less than a mile and a half away at the Summit here in Birmingham. We all use it. It is fantastic. But also over in Atlanta, if you're listening to us, up in Franklin, Tennessee, in Nashville, where you're listening to us, all over the Southeast, there are Woodhouse Day Spas near you. But the one at the Summit is the one we go to for our unbelievable treatments. You can relax, restore, and revive with everything from a massage to facials and nails and waxing. So go ahead and buy a full package for that special someone. See everything online at woodhousespas.com, woodhousespas.com. If you missed it earlier, Malcolm Simmons has been cleared by the university for team activities at Auburn. You guys reacting, it's the most talked about thing in the chat room. At Tennessee, they're dealing with a different situation. Their best returning player is Boo Carter, defensive player, all freshman SEC player last year. Josh Heupel yesterday afternoon addressed the Boo Carter situation. Now, it's not criminal. He's had some missed team activities, and that had it question whether or not he'll be part of Tennessee this year. Here's Josh.
I know at some point I'm going to get a question about Boo, so I'm going to address that right now. Boo is a part of our team here. There's some things that he's got to accomplish to get back on the field with us. Don't have a set timeline on that.
How much dialogue over this month have you had with Boo, and kind of what's your policy with players not being around for, quote, summer volunteer workouts? Do you have a set policy on if they go work out with their trainer or somebody else? How does that work?
Yeah, and end of the day, it's a requirement to be here, be a part of what we're doing. You know, there's a lot of information out in the world. Some of it's correct, some of it's not. I'm not going to address everything. You know, over the last week, you know, we're disappointed with how some things were handled. At the end of the day, you have a conversation. What does it look like moving forward? And that's all parties. That's, you know, our leadership council, Boo, and our staff. And so it's not about what yesterday was. It's about today. And we'll see as we continue to progress where that leads us.
Very much the same vibe from the news conference when Nico was not going to be part of the team anymore. NIL reasons, left to go to UCLA. Boo Carter, the best returning player on the team now. And he's missed a lot of workouts. Some reports have him not being around the team since back in mid-June, missing workouts all summer long. Some reports said it was strife inside the program. I think Josh was indicating there that he didn't, some of the stuff about a fight with the leadership council may not have been totally true. Sounds like he wasn't always happy with the way the leadership council handled that. Maybe they were pressuring him. But isn't it funny how volunteer workouts
are requirements?
Are requirements.
That's what stuck out to me as well. But then again, at the same time, I feel like you can't really call it a requirement if someone misses it and then you're allowing them to come back to the program. And, you know, the line that you have to cross to get kicked off of a team is going to be different for, you know, this player, I guess.
It's different for however good you are.
Right,
I mean,
which is sad because, it's, you know, a rule should be a rule and you either follow it or you break it. But at the end of the day, it's they're trying to win football games.
It's a real world. I mean,
it is.
If you're the best salesperson at a company, you play by different rules than the worst salesperson at a company. If you're the best baker in a kitchen at a bakery, you play by different rules than the worst baker.
You do.
If you're the best returning player on a football team, you play by different rules than the guy who's barely holding on as the third string offensive tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I need you. We need you.
Exactly. Because that's what my initial thought when he said, you know, the requirement, whatever, is if this was, like you said, you know, the third string that's barely hanging on, then he probably, you know, they wouldn't go through the mess of keeping it on the team. It would be like, okay, thank you for your service. Have a nice day.
100%.
But, you know, it is what it is, and that's how it goes.
That third string offensive tackle doesn't show up for workouts. He's already gone.
Yeah.
He's packed his bags. Says we may get a better one in the portal. You're not doing that to Boo Carter. Josh Heupel, tough situation there at Tennessee this year. We'll talk at the top of the hour to a guy who's got some thoughts on who could really shine this year in the SEC. Brett Ciancia will join us from Pick 6 Previews coming up at the top of the hour. His preseason magazine last couple of years has been voted one of the most, if not the most accurate out there, and some preseason projections. Just a great read. We'll tell you how you can get that magazine downloaded today. One more college football thing before we get to our viewing menus. Show being brought to you by our friends at A+. A+ is there if you're tired of that old, outdated bathroom or kitchen. Now, you got a new bathroom and a new kitchen. You just got a new location, so you're okay with yours. I just moved my daughter into a home, and the first thing I thought was, I don't know about this main kitchen, cute, but she probably could update it a little bit. maybe when we get around to Christmas time, maybe a little Brad Bell call there with A-plus tile home and remodeling for her. LT and Brown's already done it at their house, and you can see everything Brad has to offer online at alabamabathremodels.com. alabamabathremodels.com. Higher quality, custom features, lower prices. Call Brad at A-plus today, 205-422-1758. That's his cell number, 205-422-1758. They're now serving not just Birmingham, but Huntsville and down in Mobile as well. Hello, Bayou La Battery. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. Listen, I love good nicknames. There's a guy that picked Ole Miss this week, Nasser McCoy, known as NASCAR. NASCAR McCoy, 4-star safety, picked Ole Miss today. I mean, you got a name NASCAR. That's a pretty cool name right there, NASCAR McCoy.
Yeah, some names, especially, I mean, they're more noticeable when they become prominent athletes. But there are some players that you'll hear a broadcaster say their name, and it's like, that is a name for a star athlete. You were named to be a star athlete.
NASCAR McCoy, though, sounds like it would be, what was the animated racing
Cars?
movie? Yeah, Cars, right? Because what was the name of the pickup truck?
Mater.
Mater.
Yeah, and what was the name of the main character? Do you remember?
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen and NASCAR McCoy.
A good duo.
That would work.
It would work. Good luck to him at Ole Miss. Jimmy Haslam owns the Cleveland Browns, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on whether you think Arch Manning, who is about to make his first start in college as the full-time starter. He started some as the backup to Quinn Ewers, but it's his team now. So this is his year as the starting quarterback, Texas at Ohio State in the opener. And Jimmy Haslam owns the Browns. And the Browns could suck enough this year to where they get the first overall pick. So Jimmy Haslam got asked about Arch Manning maybe being a Browns quarterback in the future. Do you think Jimmy Haslam, who is a big Tennessee booster as well, owns the Browns, so he has familiarity with Peyton Manning and the Mannings? Do you think the Browns owner believes Arch Manning will be off to the NFL after this year? Or do you think he thinks Arch Manning comes back and plays a second year as the Texas full-time starter?
Going back to what Tyler Siskey said yesterday, the 3 SEC quarterbacks that have sat around and waited their turn when asked about Ty Simpson have all come from these football families. I feel like that will play a role in it. He's being advised by people that are very knowledgeable about how all of this works. And, if they think that he needs another year starting in college before he makes that jump to the NFL, then I think he'll do that. I think a lot of it will depend on how this season plays out, how comfortable he is, and how he adjusts to, like you said, this being his team. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of lean to him coming back because up until this point, it doesn't seem like he's been in any rush. It's, he's fine being patient, and maybe it takes a little bit longer, but he's doing it, what he perceives to be the right way.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way Jimmy Haslam feels. When asked about possibility of Arch Manning one day being a first-round pick, maybe to the Browns, Haslam said, if you know the Manning family like I do, you can expect him to be the quarterback at Texas this year and next year. And he basically said, so no need to even discuss him being a Brown yet because he's going to be at Texas for a couple of years. And that's from a guy that owns a team that needs a franchise quarterback very soon. And, he's got tied to the Manning family. The Haslams will be very happy to reunite with the Mannings like they did in Knoxville, Tennessee for a while. But even the Browns owner thinks Arch is the starting quarterback at Texas, not just this year, but next year too. Thought that was insightful there from a guy who runs a program there at a franchise there in Cleveland. Viewing menu, and then we'll talk more SEC football at the top of the hour. Before we get to the viewing menu, our friends at Odie's ready to go with another trivia night tonight. No Brownie, no LT at trivia, but they'll keep rolling along at that iconic establishment right there in Crestline. So go out there and enjoy trivia tonight. Odie's is one of those neighborhood bars and restaurants that makes up the fabric of a neighborhood, right? It's a neighborhood bar. It's a neighborhood restaurant. That's what you get at the Crestline Village in Mountain Brook. Also, at the Edgewood location in Homewood, a very successful Odie's Fest this past weekend for Will and the crew over there. Live music always on the weekends, trivia tonight, and, of course, great food for lunch and dinner today. Maybe the best ranch in town. Perfect spot for a delicious bite to eat or a cocktail after work. It's our friends at Odie's. Tyler, what are you watching tonight in our viewing menu? What's cooking? I've got a new movie. I don't know if it's animated or not coming out. I'm excited about, but let me hear what you're doing first.
Oh well, let me hear what your movie is.
Oh no, okay. Apparently, and you correct me. Have you heard anything about Coyote versus Acme? Have you heard anything about this?
So this movie has had a very strange and troubled production history. It was made a few years ago and fully completed and was originally supposed to drop on HBO Max. But during the sort of post-COVID years when companies were starting to cut back on the streaming budgets, Warner Brothers was making all of these cuts. That's when the Batgirl movie got trashed, as well as a Scooby-Doo holiday movie. And this was one of the movies that got scrapped for a tax break. There was a lot of outcry about it because the people who are into animation really hold the Looney Tunes near and dear to their heart because that's classic animation. And those fans have been wanting to see a live-action animated Looney Tunes movie for a while. So a company called Ketchup Entertainment purchased the rights to it, and they have announced that they will be re-releasing it next August.
So not this August, next August.
Next August.
I got excited. I thought it was like
this weekend. I thought it was too at first because the movie's already done, but they want to have a proper marketing campaign for it. And Ketchup Entertainment also picked up the rights to The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Daffy Duck Porky Pig movie that I got to see a few months back.
Really?
So, yeah, this company's really been putting in the work as far as preserving the Looney Tunes and their legacy.
Now, Coyote and Acme, if you were a big child of my era, watching Coyote run through walls and always get blown up by an Acme package, this looks very entertaining to me.
Oh, yeah, it'll be really funny. Wile E. Coyote's had it with these failed Acme products that have failed him time and time again. He still can't get the Roadrunner, so he hires a lawyer to sue the Acme Corporation.
I can't wait to see it.
It's going to play out like a legal drama. I'm really looking forward to that. On a weirder note, Netflix has added a new documentary, Conversations with a Killer. This is where they put all of their audio tapes and interviews with serial killers. It's the Son of Sam tapes.
Oh.
I don't know too much about the Son of Sam killer.
I don't get into serial killers like, say, LT does in following them. But Son of Sam, was that the one that was in New York?
Yes.
In the 70s, maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I've been on a documentary kick lately.
Like dark documentaries like that, or
just any kind of documentary.
Name one you've watched.
I watched the Idaho 4. I was watching a lot of stuff on that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. What is the Idaho 4? Sounds like a high school basketball team that was down to 4 players and they won the state championship.
No. This actually this was a horrible story. It was kind of recent. I think 2022.
Oh,
is that right? EG's been talking about this case for a while now. Is that the Idaho student?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was roommates that got murdered, and they were at Idaho. But
I remember that now.
Yes, in the trial, all of that. A couple days ago was when they did their victim impact statements. Is that what they're called?
Sounds good.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
So there's been a lot of conversation about it recently because that just happened either earlier this week or last week. So that is what I've been watching recently. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
But I like the true stories.
Yeah. If I lived away from a Forster's, I don't like watching things like that because I'd be thinking it would be happening at my house.
Well, you can't let
as a guy who has to stand up at my house, if anybody intrudes the house, I don't watch stuff like that. I just assume those locks work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody's waiting on me. Ugh. What else? What else you watching?
We've also got a new movie on Prime Video, War of the Worlds. It's a different take on the H.G. Wells novel where aliens invade the Earth. This one is taking a screen life approach to it, so I guess they're invading through our phones in this one, and it stars Ava Longoria and Ice Cube.
Oh, two very successful at one point actors and actresses there. Interesting. That's what Tyler's watching, and that's what you guys are watching thanks to our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. We'll talk to Brett Ciancia coming up. Man, pick 6 previews ready for you to purchase. It's out there, and it is great. Our friends at Michelson Laser Vision bringing us the viewing menu. And part of the show today, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jennifer Michelson have been leaders in the field of LASIK surgery for decades. In fact, you've heard Lance Taylor say it on this very show that 25 years ago when he made the decision to get LASIK surgery from the Michelsons, it was the best decision of his life. Go to michelsonlaservision.com to see all the services they offer, including blameless surgery. Just get the consultation like I did. I wasn't a candidate for LASIK surgery, but most people are. They've got the answers for you so you can get rid of those glasses. michelsonlaservision.com. Pick 6 previews. We'll look at the SEC when we come back on the next round.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
No matter the occasion, the Next Round store has you covered with whatever you need. Head over to nextround.store and start filling your cart up now. When you wear your gear, make sure to let us know by posting on socials, and you might just end up seeing yourself during a commercial break. Go browse now at nextround.store and place your order before the break ends.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
As we all know, there's no off season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Auburn, join us over on thebarnauburn.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on thebarnauburn.com.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Since you listened to my last message so well and got rid of those cargo shorts and stained t-shirts, it's time to replace them with Roback. Go to roback.com and click on the Refresh collection to find all that you need for an EG-approved wardrobe. It includes pieces that will have you ready to hit the golf course after a busy day of meetings or comfy favorites for travel and working from home. Get 20% off using code TNR20. See, I'm saving you some money.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and Bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Okay, we'll talk college football here in a second with Brett Ciancia of Pick 6 Previews. Show today being brought to you by our wonderful friends at Breakline. It's time to look great for the remainder of summer and into football season. Jump in with our friends at Breakline. Great-looking sunglasses that are light and durable. The lenses are made of molded, polarized Trivex lenses. That makes them unbeatable. See them for yourselves at Deep South Outfitters here in Birmingham, and you can order from anywhere in the world at breaklineoptics.com. Those great-looking sunglasses that help you read the putts better and help you see the fish in the water and just enjoy life. And, of course, the great-looking glasses help you with the opposite sex as well. It's our friends at Breakline Optics, breaklineoptics.com. One of the fastest growing magazines out there when it comes to college football, and there has been a lot of them, and you can get the download version, so you don't have to get the hardback, but you can get the hardback version, is Pick 6 Previews. And you've seen a number of folks, including our friends at the SEC Network, talk about Pick 6 Previews over the last couple of years, and the owner, creator, and the guy in charge of all of that is with us now. Brett Ciancia making his first appearance on the Next Round platform. Brett, welcome in, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the kind words and for having me on during preview season. It's a really busy time of year with the magazines going out, but really excited to break down the 2025 season with you guys.
Yeah, I'm interested before we get into some of the questions that we want to talk about. When you're on with Doring and Burns on the SEC Network, does Doring wear a shirt? Because when he's on with us, we have to make him put the shirt on because he loves to flex those muscles.
Well, that's the funny part about radio. I have no idea what they're looking like, and they can't see me. So, that was audio only. But, yeah, those guys do a great job. They're a lot of fun. I was just on with them a few hours ago on SiriusXM and the SEC Network. So, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I bet Doring's going to love the way you feel about the Gators this year, or maybe not. Let's talk a little bit about where we are going into this college football season. And if I asked you just right off the bat, your thoughts on the way this Alabama team looks. We'll start local here. Kaylee DeBoer going into his second year with a quarterback that a lot of people around here feel like he's more comfortable with his system. How do you see Ty Simpson, if he's the quarterback, and Kaylee DeBoer in year 2 at Alabama?
Well, there's a lot to like from Alabama. They're actually my pick to play in Atlanta against Texas. A lot of people have Georgia in that spot, but I like Alabama. I like what they did this offseason. First at offensive coordinator, bringing Ryan Grubb back. Of course, him and Kaylee DeBoer were together for so many years, all those successful runs they had together. So you really get the brains of the offense back. And this time around, they're picking their quarterback out of 3 great candidates. I think all 3 are pretty good fits for the offense. So I like that part. I like the talent at receiver with Ryan Williams headlining. But really what caught my eye was this defense, because normally you watch the NFL draft in April and you see 10, 12, 13 Alabama names picked. Seems like every other pick is a Crimson Tide player. This year, not so much, only 5 or 6. That's because they're all back in Tuscaloosa on defense. So they're very veteran. They're packed in the front 7. All that together, I see a top 4 team. I've got them number 4 in the country, number 2 in the SEC, and I think they're going to make a big step forward here in year 2.
Staying here in our home state, you have Auburn's quarterback room ranked 11th in the SEC. There are a lot of people that are high on it, including Tyler Siskey, who yesterday thought that all 3 quarterbacks that Auburn brought in this past cycle are better than what they've had during Hugh Freeze's tenure in Auburn. Do you have hesitations about the fit of Jackson Arnold in Hugh Freeze's offense, or is it more so the talent within the conference that made you rank them at 11th?
Yeah, I think both things. I think the talent in the SEC at quarterback is so deep. In fact, in my magazine, I have the All-American team and an All-SEC team. Quarterback, running back, receiver. I had to jam in 2 quarterbacks onto the team that was so packed. So you can go really 10 deep at quarterback here in the conference. He's a 5-star quarterback. He has 5-star backing, and last year he was in a tough spot at Oklahoma. They had a midseason coordinator firing, really young and broken offensive line. So I'm actually going to throw that year out for him and just let him start fresh year. I think he could really develop into a great player. And I love the offense. I mean, I love the receiver core, and you trust Hugh Freeze's track record with developing quarterbacks. Also, keep a look at Deuce Knight, their 5-star signee. I know he's getting a lot of buzz and could maybe push, but I like these guys. It's just in the preview magazine business, you don't like question marks, and right now it is a question mark just because of their youth and inexperience. But they could definitely grow into a great quarterback room.
Before we keep going, Brett, can you tell us how to get the magazine, our viewers and listeners, easy download or where they can purchase the magazine?
Yeah, thanks. The 14th annual edition of Pick Six Previews. It's only available on pick6previews.com, Pick Six Previews on Twitter. We have the digital copy that's emailed over right away. We have the hard copy. The magazines are shipping out every day. And if you buy the hard copy, you also get the digital. That way, for those 3 days where it's in USPS, you have access right away. So digital and hard copy, both available only online, pick6previews.com. We got some sample teams up there, some testimonials too, and I encourage you to go check it out.
Okay, I want to ask you which SEC team takes a jump this year. You may, more than one or two if you want to do this, but you talked about Alabama being a playoff team. Who else? Who makes a jump this year in your opinion?
I've got two. Now, they both face really tough schedules, so I don't know about the win-loss record. But in terms of talent and how well these teams are going to improve, I like Florida and Oklahoma to make big gains this year in their third years of their head coaches. And it's crazy how quick 4 months can change a program. I mean, look at Florida with Billy Napier. They were ready to fire him and run him out of town in November, but the athletic director made a statement of approval. They go win 4 straight to close out the year, win their bowl game, and then sign a number 8 signing class. So all the momentum in the world for Florida. A couple things I like is some linemen could have gone pro. 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive linemen could have gone to the draft. They're all 4 are back in Gainesville. DJ Lagway in his second season as a quarterback. Their receiver room, they added 3 5-star receivers. So a lot of talent at Florida. They face a gauntlet of a schedule. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but it's absolutely brutal. Same deal with Oklahoma, where I think it's their best team yet under Brent Venables. Another elite defense. He's always had the defense. Problem was the offense, and I think this time they corrected it. They hired Ben Arbuckle, this great new coordinator from Washington State, bringing his quarterback with them, too. It's a package deal. So I like Oklahoma to make some offensive gains, become a more complete team. But they face 8 top 25 teams this year. So even with a talent gain, it's going to be tough to make the playoff.
You've mentioned that you're high on a lot of SEC quarterbacks, but which first-year starter do you expect to have the most success this season?
Yeah, well, I'll stay right there in Norman with John Mateer. I just talked about his coordinator, Ben Arbuckle. It's a wide-open air raid system, and he put up a lot of stats last year at Washington State. I know it's going to be a step up in competition, but you watch this guy play. He's got the towel. He's got the headband. He runs like Baker Mayfield. It looks like the next Mayfield, but I don't know. It might be too simple of a comparison, but I like his playing style. He's going to be a stat guy for sure. First-year starters, I mean, Arch Manning is the low-hanging fruit there. Everyone's talking about him. He got some starts last year, some spot situations, but I think that he's going to be great for them on a playoff contender. So those are 2 guys, Arch Manning on a playoff team, John Mateer on more of a dark horse type team. I don't know if I could call DJ Lagway a first-time starter at Florida. I mean, he played half the season, but if you're looking for like a real, the whole season starter, I'd like Lagway as well.
Brett Ciancia, Pick Six Previews, with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. Before we get to ceiling and floor with Alabama and Auburn, I just want to ask you, because you're a huge college football fan, and just off the top of my head, I'm dying to know, because we are in this huge debate of what the college football playoffs should look like moving forward. Do you have an opinion? It's not official. We just all have opinions. Are you the Big Ten model where you want the automatic qualifiers and that super Saturday play-in situation? Or are you a 5+11 guy like the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC that takes the 5 automatic qualifiers and the best 11 selected by the committee elsewhere? You're a huge fan. What do you want to see?
Yeah, well, unpopular take. I think we need to go back in time. We got to shrink this bracket back down to 4 teams, 8 at the most. Growing up, what I loved about college football was that it really rewarded perfection. You had to go undefeated to win a national title, maybe one close loss, one fluky loss. to remain in the national title hunt. And with this expanded bracket, I always said the expanded playoff bracket was November. That's what all these games were. It was built into the regular season. You had elimination games on campus. Everyone loves these on-campus playoff games. It's called November, and we used to have that. So, but look, it's never going to go back because TV money rules everything, and they love what they have now with the expansion. So within your two questions there, I'd rather go back in time, keep it at 12. But out of the two 16-team options, I like the SEC's model more. Give the automatic bids to the champions. That's fine. If you win your conference, you're in. But from there, it should be wide open. I don't know why the Big Ten should get 4 automatic bids every year. I think that's crazy. So, open it up to 11 at-large bids. That keeps the importance of the non-conference, because if all the spots in the bracket are locked into automatic qualifiers, what's the point of even playing these non-conference games? You can go 0-3 in September in the non-con and then have a nice run in your conference and make it. So I think you need to keep the importance in all these games. Go with a 5-11. If you had to expand, I'd go 5-11.
You mentioned that you expect to see Alabama and Atlanta playing for a SEC championship. That is their ceiling, I'm assuming, is probably a national championship, and I think a lot of people would agree with you. What do you think the floor for Alabama is this season?
Yeah, I agree. The ceiling for me is a national title and undefeated season, but the floor, I think you'd have to look at maybe 9-3. That road trip to Georgia is going to be tough, and they have the nation's longest home win streak. I think it's 30 games. By then, it'll be something like 32 games. Going to be tough to go in there and win. Auburn's going to be tough and improve this year. South Carolina's on the schedule. There's a lot of tough games for Alabama. So I'd say ceiling 12-0, floor 9-3. And I think with this roster, anything under 9-3 might be a tough spot for Kalen DeBoer. I don't see that happening. My last bit on Alabama is in the book. I have not only the high school recruiting rankings and transfer rankings, but I have mock NFL draft for next year. I know it's early for a mock, but it's in there. Alabama, #1 in the country in mock NFL draft picks with 15 projected next year. It's an NFL machine here. He's got to win. I think he'll win at least 10 games.
Wow. So 15 draft picks on this great roster, according to our friends at Pick 6 Previews there. Sounds like a recipe for success there. Meanwhile, in our state, you know how this state is, Brett. It's Alabama and Auburn divided, and there's a little hot seat talk down with Hugh Freeze at Auburn. Give me the ceiling and the floor for the Auburn Tigers this year, in your opinion.
Yeah, well, Auburn's a team I'm actually high on if you compare to the other magazines. And I first looked back on them last year. They were top 20 on both my offense and defense metrics, yards per play, opponent adjusted. It sounds like jargon, but really good in my advanced metrics. Problem was turnovers and goal line and field goal kicking was the worst in the country. I think they gave away 5 turnovers to Cal. 5 in another game. These were games they should have won. So from that starting point, I think they were better than their record showed last year. So looking forward to 2025, I've got them in my national top 20. I think their ceiling could be 10 wins, 10 or 9 wins. The floor, I'm looking at maybe 7-5 because you look at this schedule. I mean, you got road trips to Baylor, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. These are all teams in my top 20. And then you draw some home games against playoff teams in Georgia and Alabama. So if everything falls the wrong way, you lose all 5 of them. Looking at maybe 7-5 for the floor. But I'm high on Auburn. I love the receiver room, and I think they take a step forward this year.
Yeah, if 7-5 is the floor, then if that's the worst-case scenario, that is a step forward. Man, Brett, thank you one more time for our fans, our viewers, and listeners on how they can get the Pick 6 preview.
Thank you. Yeah, pick6previews.com is the only place to order it. We have the digital and the hard copy. Also this year, if you love our advanced stats and our numbers, we have a Pick 6 Plus. It's an in-season feature. Every Tuesday, hits your inbox with all the projections and picks for the week, all the advanced stats, situational stats, everything you'd want for all 68 Power 4 teams. So go check it out, pick6previews.com.
So you're telling me if I'm horrible at picking games, that you could help me out, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Come on in. We have you covered, everything from Vegas trends against the spread, talent profiles. I mentioned the mock NFL draft picks. You can see that for every team. Picks for every week, lines, projections, everything. So it's all in there, Pick 6 Plus.
So if I end up winning the Pick 3 this year.
That's why. We know why.
Brett's the reason why, man. Brett, thank you, man, for being with us today, carving out time. Been a busy radio day for you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Anytime. Appreciate it.
All right. Pick 6 Previews. That's Brett Ciancia, and I think I got his name 88% right every time I said it, which is hard for me to do. Lock of the day, lanceslock.com, picking a speaking of picks, lanceslock.com every day. Football returns tomorrow night. Lance will have a play on the Chargers and Lions game tomorrow night. And you can get a play every day for free at lanceslock.com. It's always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services, the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of its plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. You call our friends at Hemp Hill Services, or you can go online to hemphillservices.com. And they've got that 24-hour, 7 days a week emergency heating, cooling, and plumbing services just for you. If something goes wrong in the middle of the night or on the weekend, Hemp Hill is the one that can help you. So remember the name Hemp Hill. Call the number 205-229-2090 or go to hemphillservices.com, hemphillservices.com. Full disclosure, I always have been a big Phil Steele fan, magazine-wise.
Yep.
But truthfully, the print, Phil has so much stuff jammed in. I mean, you're 20-something.
Yes.
And it's hard for you to see.
It is. And I guess he wants to, he doesn't want it to be 600 pages long. But some of it is very straining on the eyes.
Yeah. So even with glasses and stuff, so the past couple of years, I've gone pick six previews as well to sort of complement my consumption. So we appreciate Brett being with us. If you've never heard of it, you can check it out, pick six previews online there and on social media. Alabama camp, Auburn camp opening up today. We're about to hear from Hugh Freeze again, but earlier on a serious note, he says Malcolm Simmons has been cleared by the university to participate in team activities, which starts this afternoon just after 3. Emily Grace McWhorter will join us from Auburn on campus to talk about that and everything else that is going on with Auburn camp opening, Alabama opening as well. She was over there yesterday in Tuscaloosa and had a chance to talk to Kaylee DeBoer off the record with some background on what this team will look like, and it'll be interesting to see what is coming for the Crimson Tide with a lot of high expectations this year. Tyler, if you will, man, give me cut number 14. We'll get to Hugh Freeze and some context to the quote. I think, Forrester, this is the quote that everyone has pulled some stuff out. Am I correct about that?
I think you want 15 if
okay. Give me 15 then, because everyone has pulled out length and girth from a Hugh Freeze comment today. So everyone's wanting some background on why everybody's talking length and girth and Hugh Freeze in the same sentence today. They got it from this soundbite moments ago.
I don't really get hung up on the running back's weight, but it is good that you have some that have some girth to them. But there's no doubt you need length and girth in this league up front, and I think at linebacker too, and it helps if you have it in the secondary. I tell guys all the time when they're recruiting these guys from an offensive perspective, when we're talking about open receivers, length matters, both sides. You can have a shorter receiver that's actually winning a route by 2 yards, but the length of that DB gives it, and according to that receiver, it gives you no window. The quarterback doesn't really feel like that's a window. Whereas if the receiver is here and the DB's there, I see that window. And so length matters there, and it certainly matters up front. When you're rushing guys on the defensive front who have some length to them, it's uncomfortable for the quarterback.
Yeah. For the sixth grade reporters out there, they had a blast with that one today.
It's just one of those times where, you sit there and you think you couldn't have thought of a little bit different phrasing.
Yeah.
It's not just the phrasing, it's the delivery too. Like, he's talking at a normal cadence and then he emphasizes the words length and girth during that.
With hand gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up front. And from behind and pressuring the quarterback.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just.
All right.
It's Hugh Freeze today, his news conference. They'll actually get on the football field. I would imagine Hugh has never been more excited than to get on a football field and actually start practicing as he is today after this offseason. A lot of people having fun on social media with that one today. Were you surprised by Brett's comments about Auburn? And then we'll circle back to a couple of his others, but I would imagine a lot of people that watch this Auburn football team thinks they could be a lot worse, that their worst case scenario could be worse than 7-5. I mean, do you see worst case scenario 7-5?
Auburn has a very manageable schedule this season.
You didn't say easy. I like that. Manageable.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's easy. I wouldn't say that anything's easy. So I think it's manageable in comparison to past schedules. And 7-5, I think that would be a step forward in comparison to the past couple of years. I don't think that would excite anyone by any means. But when you start looking at more than 5 losses, you start losing games that, make you scratch your head a little bit. Like we've seen the past 2 seasons where you're walking into a game that, you feel very confident that Auburn should walk away winning. And it's what we've talked about when looking at Auburn's schedule is there comes a point where if you reach a certain number of losses, you are losing games that you should not lose.
That's right.
And so 7-5, I don't know. The floor, it's hard. It's hard to put a number on the floor for me because there are games that I think that they should win. But then again, looking at recent history, you know, those don't always turn out as wins.
Yes. With that schedule, 6-6 and a Birmingham Bowl would be
disastrous.
Tremendously disappointing. Absolutely. We'll talk Georgia camp opening up. Kaylee Mansell joins us from DawgNation coming up at the bottom of the hour. But I want to do the Bojangles tender moment of the day right now. It's a guy who, a couple of them, but one of them is a guy who played yesterday's, and this is what he plays with all the time. He's on the PGA Championship in Canada. He's a professional golfer. And there is a regulation on how long your putter can be and how short your putter can be. And he actually played with the shortest putter legally possible. This is real professional golfer. He shot 1 under par yesterday with an 18-inch putter. I can't say his name. I'm going to try it. Felipe Guillerte. 1 under par at the PGA of Canada Championship yesterday. His putter is 18 inches long, the shortest it possibly can be.
Why?
Like your little buddy Lincoln, that would be the putter he would use right now.
What's the that just looks like it causes horrible back pain. Imagine crouching, like bending over like that. Like he just was in that video for, 4 hours of golf or however long he's playing. Why?
I can't imagine how you putt with that. But he's 1 under yesterday, but it looks like a joke, a challenge, a bet that was lost.
That's what there has to be some sort of reason that he did this because certainly it's not an advantage.
Or he got angry with himself and snapped Bo Jackson that putter right over his leg, and then he's playing with the bottom half of what's left.
I don't know, but I don't know why you would voluntarily do that.
I don't know.
Is there an explanation?
It's just what he's comfortable doing.
Oh, so that's normal.
Yeah, he does this all the time. Yeah, that's his putter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the minimum amount. I wonder if you get a discount. Like, does that putter cost as much as mine?
I don't know. Do you know what it's called? I'll look it up.
It's an 18-inch putter. I would imagine there's not many of them in the world. Probably literally made specifically for him. It just looked ironic. Thought it was a Bo Tender moment. What do you have, Tyler?
So if I look up 18-inch putter, the first result is
Hugh Freeze talking about length and girth?
No.
No, okay.
No. It's good, though. It's from PGA Tour Superstore. Baby's first club in blue.
Yeah, all of these are kids. It's being promoted as a children's golf club.
That's our Bojangles tender moment of the day. Our friends at Bojangles there with the hand-breaded chicken tenders with all the great sauces. They bring you our tender moment every day, and they can get you going breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's our friends at Bojangles reminding you whether it's 10:25 Central Time as it is right now or whether it's late night, it's always Bo time with our Bojangles tender moment of the day. By the way, I played golf yesterday with our friends at Bent Brook. I walk into the pro shop, and guess what I see?
An 18-inch putter.
An 18-inch putter. Nope. I see a Happy Gilmore jersey hanging in the pro shop there. They've got merch for sale at golf shops all around, including this one. Look, the Gilmore Boston Bruins jersey for sale with specialty items like golf balls and other shirts from the Happy Gilmore movie available there in pro shops like at Bent Brook there, ready to roll. That welcomed me to my 18 holes, which I shot a 78, by the way, yesterday out there at Bent Brook. Happy Gilmore, biggest opening weekend in Netflix history, Tyler.
I saw that it got I believe it was 46.7 million viewers over the weekend.
The exact number, 46.7 million. So it may suck, but a lot of people watched it suck.
Have you watched it yet?
I have not watched it yet.
Me either.
You? Nope. You're watching crime documentaries now.
Yep, I am.
You haven't watched it yet either, Tyler.
I haven't.
You
I
will
don't.
not.
I don't have Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
That's an upset.
Well, it's upsetting that they kicked you off of being able to use your parents' account still.
That's part of why I don't have it.
I was logged in, and now if you're not in the same geographical location, you can't get on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was devastating.
So there is a good chance that my daughter, who just moved into a house outside of our home,
We'll have to get our own Netflix.
Oh, no. What about my son when he goes back to college?
I mean, from my experience, because I don't live super far from my parents, and I can't use it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I can't afford 3 Netflix accounts.
Yeah, for some reason, I'm not able to use my parents' Netflix, but I can use my parents' YouTube TV.
Me too.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I would feel like that one would be under, like, way more locks.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
They're just trying to pay the bills, I guess,
Crazy.
at Netflix.
All right. When we come back, we check in with Georgia's Kaylee Mansell, not Georgia. She's DawgNation. She covers the great Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart and a lot of other stuff. Kaylee Mansell will make her first appearance on the show. Danny Kanell rejoins the show in the final hour. And Emily Grace McWhorter, our in-the-field reporter, continues the camp tour. She's in Auburn coming up at 11:30. She was in Tuscaloosa yesterday. Before we head to break, a reminder that Twin Peaks is the best game in town, and the games return tomorrow night in the NFL. Twin Peaks, a great place to host your fantasy football draft as well this season. Make your reservation today online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. twinpeaksrestaurant.com, a great place to watch the games, where they're made-from-scratch food menu, plus the ice-cold beers, where the taps roll right on the freezing line. Ours in studio, our kegs at 35. It's 31 right now at the local Twin Peaks, located right behind the gallery in Hoover. Our friends at Twin Peaks, we talk a little Georgia Bulldogs, DawgNation on the other side. This is TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at thelancetaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
If you're looking to expand business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us. Send an email to sales@nextroundlive.com to be a part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platform. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, and reach the most desirable audience for your business. Get information and more by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I'm excited to bring on Kaylee Mansell here. I saw her work when we were over at SEC Media Days with DawgNation. So let's make that our Shunnarah Spotlight today. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
Brought to you by Alexander Shunnarah. Their mission to create a firm that could handle any issue that Alexander's community face. He did that, not just personal injury, but claims for fire and storm damages, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and so much more. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shunnarah. You pay nothing unless he wins your case. Kaylee, welcome to the show, DawgNation. How you doing?
Guys, thank you so much for having me on. I'm really grateful to be here. Obviously excited to talk some Dogs football, but I think first we need to focus on the larger task at hand, which is I can't believe that none of y'all have seen Happy Gilmore yet. I thought that's what everybody was doing with their Friday night last weekend.
I'm not a movie girl. I don't watch movies. I've seen 7, I think, ever. So
I'll be honest, I loved the original because I was a lot younger then, and then everybody was trashing it online. And I made a point. I was like, I think because I'm not in college anymore, that I'm not going to enjoy it as much. So I probably will watch it. You watch it, Kaylee? Give me a review. 2 thumbs up?
I mean, the thing is, I think you set yourself up for failure when you go into it thinking it's going to be just like the first one. With a masterpiece like that, you can't really recreate that, but I thought the movie was everything that it needed to be. It was cheesy, it was stupid, it was full of celebrity cameos. My only issue is, and I was telling my dad this, it's one of those movies that it's never going to be like watching it again for the first time, because I think there is a little bit over 100 celebrity cameos. So part of the fun is like, oh my gosh, I know this person. Oh my gosh, that's Eminem. And how did they get the budget for this? So it's a great first time watch. I found my jaws hurting after I watched it because I couldn't stop laughing. So if you go into it thinking it's going to be like the first one, of course you're not going to like it. You just have to accept it for what it is. But I would definitely recommend it to every person, even if you're an original Happy Gilmore fan or not. Like, it's a feel-good movie that I think any generation can enjoy.
Oh, how about that breakdown there from Kaylee? That's. I will watch it now because of that. Listen, I had a chance to work in this area when Kirby was over in Tuscaloosa with Nick Saban for all those times. I think I know him well enough to think he is loving the fact that everybody this offseason is talking about Arch Manning in Texas. Everybody's talking about Alabama being back again. Everybody's talking about LSU in the offseason. Everybody's talking about Lenora Sellers in South Carolina. And nobody's talking about poor old Georgia. I bet Kirby Smart is loving that.
I can definitely tell that you had the opportunity to work with him or get to watch him, because that is hitting the nail on the head. Like, in covering 3 seasons of Georgia, there are a couple of things that I have learned about Kirby Smart. One of them is that he is an absolute master at giving you absolutely nothing. He's not a coach that wants to throw out headlines or be able to give you something to make an entire show after. And like, I think what you said actually brings me back to media days, because when day one, when Greg McElroy dropped that news that Nick Saban could possibly come back to coaching, I was like, this is Kirby Smart gold, because now nobody's even talking about Georgia or really anything that's going on at SEC Media Days. Everybody's focused on that. He's definitely someone that wants his players to, I'll use the Kirby Smart quote, chop wood behind the scenes. And so, I mean, this couldn't be a better scenario for him or for the team, because he definitely likes to keep the main thing the main thing.
They might not be being talked about a lot, but when the preseason polls got released after media days, the special teams first team was full of Georgia. Every single player was a Georgia player. So people respect them. And it seems as if a lot of people have high expectations for Georgia's special teams. What do you expect to see from those guys this season?
Well, it didn't really surprise me to see all those guys on the special teams, especially Peyton Woodring and Brett Thorson, who do have a lot of experience. And I hate to admit it, but last year they definitely had to punt a lot more. So I wasn't surprised to see those 2 guys in that position. The one that really surprised me was Zachariah Branch, because he doesn't have any SEC or Georgia experience at all. So I think that just speaks for the name that he had for himself at USC. But it's no secret that Kirby Smart quietly prides himself in his special teams. Like, there's a lot of guys that will go to the NFL and tell you that they really got their start at Georgia playing for the special team. So that's something that Kirby Smart really prioritizes. When you think about Kirby Smart and the Georgia program, you automatically point to the really talented defenses that they've always had. But special teams is something that when we do our own preseason grades, special teams always gets the benefit of the doubt of having an A. So I think that where there was some respect lacked with other positions, I thought everybody hit the nail on the head when it came to special teams. So that was definitely something that I know Kirby Smart took a lot of pride in.
Kaylee Mansell, DawgNation, with us here. I remember Kirby last year with Greg Sankey standing beside him talking about they made us go to Austin and Oxford and Tuscaloosa. I imagine Kirby's not talking about all those games being at home this year. What do you make of this schedule? It does feel a little different than it did last year. It does seem to be a little bit more manageable than it looked last year going into the season.
See, I struggle with that. And I know that everyone, DawgNation, all Georgia fans are really grateful to be able to have those big home games between Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss. But I don't think that that necessarily means that the schedule gets any easier just because you play those games at home. Like, I don't think that takes away from the strength of every single one of those programs. I think that first game at Alabama is really going to tell a lot, but I just can't get away from the fact that, yes, it's hard to play anywhere on the road in the SEC, but it's also hard to do it any given Saturday, whether it's at home or whether it's away. But at least for me personally, like, I'm getting a little bit older. And as I get older, there are certain moments and points in time where I realize that, like, I'm going to always remember this moment forever. And that's how I feel about the 3 home games with Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss. Georgia might never get that in a schedule ever again. So at least for me, like, I'm really going to soak up this season, and being able to see Sanford Stadium and the city of Athens possibly burn to the ground with how many people are going to be there and be so excited for those games. I mean, if you're a Georgia fan, this is your absolute dream. And if you're the Georgia Bulldogs, this is a chance for you to prove that you can still get it done at home, even against the best competition in the SEC.
Something Dunaway and I were talking about earlier was the excitement and unity that seemed to occur when Gunnar Stockton stepped up at the end of last season when Carson Beck got injured. And I want to hear your thoughts on the confidence, the excitement that you've seen and heard from the players, especially after being able to talk to them at Media Days a couple weeks ago about Gunnar Stockton being the guy for Georgia's offense this season.
I think that you make such a good point because I don't think that we really realized that maybe the team wasn't as connected as we thought until we got to the Sugar Bowl and heard all of these guys speak about Gunnar in a way that we had never heard with Carson before. And so it definitely made us realize that there were a lot more things going on behind the scenes that maybe contributed to the team we saw declining towards the end of the season. I mean, I think that Gunnar is really everything that you want in a quarterback from a leadership perspective because he definitely is someone that leads by example rather than by words, which is a major step up from Carson Beck. And I know that Gunnar has spent a lot of time this offseason, not just working with the skill players around him, but also his offensive line, which he absolutely has to do because he is a lot more mobile than what Carson was. So to know that he's putting in the work on the field, behind the scenes, like maybe he doesn't have the same natural level of talent that Carson had, but I know that he's got the work ethic to make it work this season when there is a lot of doubt and speculation about what kind of quarterback Gunnar can be. But I'm really excited to see the connections that he's built with the tight ends, especially Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky, who he's been in the program with since day one. And I think one thing that Gunnar's going to do a really good job of is relying more on the talent around him. I think Carson Beck, and this isn't me talking bad on him because I do have respect for Carson, but I think in certain situations when Georgia was down, Carson got in that mental state of, okay, I need to be the one that changes the game. And sometimes that's a good thing. But for Gunnar, I think that because of the connection that he's built, the mutual respect that him and his teammates have, he's going to be able to rely on the talent that Georgia has brought in for him more than possibly Carson would have. So I have high expectations for Gunnar Stockton. I think he's very much the same person behind the scenes as he seems to be at a place like SEC Media Days. Like he's just a guy that loves his truck and his cows and his teammates and the game of football. And I think that's really refreshing to all Georgia fans.
I'm a huge Glenn Schumann fan. I see a little bit of Kirby Smart in him, that he's waiting his turn like Kirby did with Nick Saban. Tell me about Glenn Schumann. You think he'll be a head coach someday?
I'm hoping that one day he's the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, but I can't say that for certain because one day somebody's going to come in and offer him the opportunity of a lifetime. And I think all Georgia fans would be excited if he took that. But what Glenn Schumann does is so well is not just the defensive schemes that you see on the field, but where he really shines is on the recruiting trail, especially for the linebacker position. When you look at last year, they bring in 5-star Zayden Walker. The year before that, they bring in the #1 linebacker in the country and Justin Williams. So it's like that linebacker room stays so loaded, 5-star after 5-star after 5-star, and they haven't really had to go out into the portal and get anybody for that position because Glenn Schumann prioritizes recruiting at the high school level. And I think a great example of how good of a coach Glenn Schumann is someone like Jalen Walker, who in his sophomore season didn't really play that many games. It was more a quiet impact, but he wasn't the star on the field. And then look at just 1 year later, a first-round pick who had NFL players tweeting about him in that Texas game. And I give a lot of that credit to Glenn Schumann and how he develops the guys in that room. So I think Glenn would be a great fit anywhere he wanted to go. Selfishly, I hope he stays with the Dogs because he's a coach that I really love covering, but he's going to be a head coach at a program someday. It's really only just a matter of time.
Kaylee, before you go, I just want to tap your brain so that Taylor and I are smarter as we get closer to the football season. Give me the one player that nobody's talking enough about on this Georgia football team, in your opinion. Give us somebody that may be a breakout star this year for the Dogs.
I'm going to go Justin Williams. He's going to be a true sophomore. He's a linebacker. He was that #1 linebacker in the class of, I believe it was 2024. They pulled him out of Texas. And I mean, just across the board, these sophomores that are coming in are really at a disadvantage because, truthfully, the only game they got to play quality time in last year was Clemson. And then after that, Georgia played so many close games. So we really don't know a lot about this sophomore class. It's a lot of speculation and thinking about the recruiting rankings because they really just didn't get to play much. But Justin Williams is someone that we've heard what I like to refer to as chatter in the spring season. And Kirby doesn't want the chatter. He doesn't want people talking about the players and their performances during camp. But I mean, Justin Williams, you heard that name and it was like wildfire spread. The physicality that he played with when he was in high school at Texas, his length, his quickness. He's somebody that I think that by the end of it could end up being a an end of season, maybe second round or second team all SEC kind of player. Not enough people are talking about him, but he's someone that basically had no experience last year and is going to have to take a major jump. So I'm giving you Justin Williams. God gave me 10 toes and I will stand down on every single one of them for him.
I like that. Kaylee Mansell, DawgNation. Big fan of all you guys at DawgNation. Y'all keep up the good work. Hope you guys go 10-2 this year.
Me too. That definitely keeps my job intact when we're winning and when people care. So, fingers crossed, I hope the same.
See, there's a difference between a Georgia and an Alabama guy. 10-2, it's an season. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay. That's Kaylee. Kaylee, there with us, DawgNation. Thanks for being with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Charlotte Attorneys Hotline. I'm glad to catch up with her.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Thank you.
This Georgia team, nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about Georgia.
No, and I'm waiting for the soundbite of Kirby saying, everyone said we were going to go 6-6. And it's like, who? Please tell us where you found that.
It's closer this year than it was the year they won the national championship, and they were like that. They predicted us to be 7-4, 7-5. And I was like, who had them 7-5? Good football team, good roster. Kaylee's right, good roster. 4 and 5 stars everywhere. On that blue chip ratio we talk about in the offseason a lot, Georgia rings that bell. And I just go back to early Saban years and the things that you hear the Georgia people saying, reporters that cover them, same things that I said and others that cover Alabama early in the Saban years. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Wash and repeat. Kirby's got that process down over there at his school in Athens, and Georgia will be good. That Alabama game, Alabama doesn't play a lot at Georgia. Over the years. Just hadn't happened a lot. There have been some big wins and some heartbreaking losses for the Tide there. That'll be a big one. And then Auburn gets them at Jordan-Hare Stadium. An opportunity early for Hugh Freeze to get a marquee signature win.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, think about that game 2 years ago, last time they played in Auburn. And if it weren't for Brock Bowers
in the fourth quarter,
being Superman,
and maybe a little bit of an injury in that game on the guy that was blanketing Bowers. If he hadn't gotten nicked up a little bit and slowed by a half a step, maybe he doesn't get as wide open as he did.
Yeah, I mean, that Auburn couldn't stop him at the end of the game. And it was just one of those things where it was a glimmer of hope in year one under Hugh Freeze. Okay, this would be a massive win, and then So this is their chance. Auburn has an improved roster. Georgia has a first-year starter, and, who knows what'll happen.
I want to jump into the chat room, Tyler, if you can throw that back up for me there after I tell folks about some great moments in college football with our friend Daniel A. Moore. Our friends at New Life Art brings you the limited edition prints by Daniel Moore, including collegiate classics from Nick Saban's national championships and the great moments in Iron Bowl history, and so many more things that you can get. That includes some personal items, some knickknacks that you could find there, including things like the Legacy Continues coffee mugs and calendars that you get. And there's even a Daniel Moore secondary marketplace, some of the prints they don't make anymore, some of the signature ones that you can find all online there at danielmooreart.com, danielmooreart.com. So we're ready to go there. Hey, listen, in the chat room earlier, we were talking about big out-of-conference wins and some things going on. Scott thinks that Texas gets Ohio State. He agrees with you. He thinks Texas gets Ohio State. Dylan questions whether or not LSU's offensive line and defense is going to be good enough to win that game at Clemson. We've been waiting on LSU's defense to get better every year, and we've been told it's going to be better this year. is this a year that they get better?
It needs to be. What was it 2 years ago when their offense was electric, absolutely electric, and that was, I feel like every Monday after an LSU game, it was okay. The offense is scoring, at will, and this defense is just, it's not helping their situation at all. But I think, obviously the ACC people are a lot higher on Clemson. Clemson's their prized possession. LSU, I think that the SEC as a whole, everyone's pretty high on LSU, but not to the level of where ACC people are with Clemson.
Brandon says he's all in on Oklahoma beating Michigan. And then I think it was Stanley or Sean, I can't remember my own writing, that made a point that he believes after Alabama beats Florida State, that Florida State will fall apart again.
Really?
Because in a lot of the openers during the Saban years now, I'll go back, he said teams that put all the offseason into beating Alabama in that opener and then come up short, they fall apart after that because they put so much into that first basket. I don't know if factually that ends up being true. I know USC got blitzed in that opener and ended up getting better by the end of the year.
Well, the way that I look at that now, if you're, using history as the comparison here, is a loss used to be a lot more detrimental. One loss used to be, very, very, very detrimental to your season when there are 4 teams that make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, do you want to open the season with a loss? No one does, obviously. But it's not the end of the world.
That gets me to my question before we get to Danny Kanell at the top of the hour. And I'll give you a second to think about it while I tell folks about Hemp Hill Services. But my question is, 4 power conferences.
Yep.
4 champions last year. How many do we have a repeat champion, conference champion? And I'll go over for everybody who won their conference last year, why you guys think about it. But remember, it was Georgia that was the SEC champions. Remember, it was Oregon that was the Big Ten champion. It was Arizona State that was the Big 12 champion. And it was Clemson that was the ACC champion. How many repeat? Does any repeat? Who repeats? Who wins the conference championships? That's our hot, cold question of the day, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They're there for all your plumbing needs. Hemp Hill is. All your heating and cooling needs as well. They are a trained dealer, and they have financing available for you. And I love the fact that you can call Hemp Hill 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That emergency service so crucial, 205-229-2090, or schedule an appointment, hemphillservices.com. They are fast, they can diagnose any problem, and they can repair it almost always in the same day. Great guys at Birmingham has trusted since 1954, Hemp Hill Services, hemphillservices.com. So if I say all 4 repeat, 3 of the 4, 2 of the 4, 1 of the 4, nobody repeats, where do you go?
I think that Clemson will repeat. I think Clemson will win the ACC again.
I agree with you.
Okay. I do not think that Arizona State will win the Big 12.
I agree with you. Do you have somebody who you think does win the Big 12?
This is just, I have no reasoning for this, but I'm going to say Texas Tech.
Texas Tech for you. A lot of people think they're really good roster-wise. I'm going to go Kansas State.
Okay, I have because I wrote my matchup. So I have Clemson beating Miami.
Okay.
And then Texas Tech over Kansas State.
Yeah, that Chris Kleiman guy can coach, in my opinion. I think he's good enough to get that done. All right.
Big Ten, I don't think Oregon repeats. Penn State?
Penn State for you. I think Oregon repeats.
Really?
As champion. I think they beat Ohio State in the championship game. I like Dante more. Yeah, Justin really quick says, I really feel Oregon has a pretty down year and loses 4 games. Justin, I had not even landmined them yet, and you already said that over in the chat room.
Yeah, now they're doomed.
Crazy. I like Dante Moore at quarterback. I think he throws a really, really good football.
And you know who he has the same Heisman odds as right now?
Jackson Arnold. You told me that yesterday. You educated me on that yesterday.
Pointless.
Morgan
Preseason.
in Louisville says Louisville in the ACC. Texas Tech in the Big 12. He agrees with you, and he likes Ohio State, not Penn State in the Big 10. What about the SEC? Repeat champion?
No, I do not think so. I think that It will either be my championship game is Texas and Alabama.
Okay.
And
who wins? Spend my dollar.
I have Texas winning.
Oh, okay. All right. No Alabama?
I have them there. They'll be present.
Yeah, that gets them into the playoffs, though.
Right.
So you have one repeating, right?
Yeah, Clemson's the only repeat. Wait, who do you have? Do you have Alabama winning? Oh, yeah. Did you already predict that?
I've got LSU beating Alabama
in the championship.
In the SEC championship
So
game.
what you think Texas? What do you think is going to happen with Texas?
I think Texas loses 2 games, makes the playoffs, but doesn't make Atlanta.
Okay.
Georgia loses 2 games, makes the playoffs, doesn't make Atlanta.
That's fair.
LSU and Bama in Atlanta.
Okay.
It's my predictions. We'll do our predictions. Hey, it's almost that month. Friday is August, and that gets us to not only the start of college football, but big prediction Friday. What do we call that? 3 Guarantee Friday is coming up. That's always the Friday before week 0. So we're 24 days away from week 0, which means we're 23 days away from our big prediction Friday, what's called 3 Guarantee Friday, I think I call it.
Yes.
I label all these things for 16 years and try to keep them the same name. That's coming up the Friday before the week 0 games. We were at the Florida-Bama last year. I got asked this week. I forget where I was. Somebody says, "When are you guys going to the Florida-Bama?" I said, "That's an LT thing. I don't know if we got one on the books yet." But last year, Guarantee Friday was down at the Florida-Bama, one of my favorite Guarantee Friday shows of all time. Danny Kanell on the other side. We'll talk to SEC lover Danny Kanell coming up. And EG joins us in the final hour as well. Taylor Corn, Jim Dunaway, Tyler, and Forster filling in for the guys, LT and Brown, who are on vacation, well-deserved break this week, handling everything this summer, and they take a little vacation this week before we get into football mode on Monday. Our friends at Way to Wellness want to help you get into the mode of simplifying your weight loss this year with my friend Leslie and her board-certified team at Way to Wellness. Visit their website, aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness has a personalized plan that works and is designed specifically for you. No cookie-cutter plan. Everyone needs something different. You may want meal replacements, injection therapies. I use the protein bars to keep from the bad snacking between the meals. The website, again, aplanforme.com. They have diet plans for diabetes, heart disease, sleep apnea, and more. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Do you need some refreshed college wear to represent your team this year? Shop Roback's Game Day collection that includes both Alabama and Auburn. From quarter zips to hoodies, Rhoback has it all. Get 20% off on us using code TNR20 at rhoback.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
All right, Auburn fans, I want you to become a member of thebarnauburn.com and join in on the fun. Whether it's recruiting discussions, off-season chatter, or the latest Auburn athletics news, we've got it all. Get $25 off your annual subscription when you sign up for your account at thebarnauburn.com today. War Eagle.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Danny Kanell joins the show momentarily. This hour of the show, always brought to you, the final hour, by our friends at Champy'sChicken.com, Champy'sChicken.com. Tyler, talk about Champy's Chicken real quick while I text Danny Kanell here. What's your favorite thing at Champy's Chicken?
You can't go wrong with anything there. The ranch is really good, and that's not just because just for the ranch fiends. It stands out amongst other ranches. Good consistency, good like peppery flavor in there.
You can tell it's homemade.
Yeah,
and that's what really matters when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Danny said, has Tyler sent me a link yet? Do you have sent him a link? Yeah?
Yeah, I sent it during the right after the last interview.
Okay, so there we go. We'll see if he jumps on here in a second. DK always good with his time coming off the set there with CBS Sports and Sirius XM. Champy's Chicken there for tailgating. We're at that time again. Tailgating starts tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. You can get it for your viewing pleasure watching the Chargers and Lions right there on Highway 119, that Delta Magic that Sterling's put together over a decade in the same location. Go by there. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Before we get to Danny, a couple other college football notes out there. Pete Bavacqua, the AD at Notre Dame, says he wants you to earn the playoffs on the field, but he doesn't want it earned the way the Big Ten wants it. He thinks earning it on the field is 5 automatic qualifiers and 11 at-large bids, so he's in favor of doing it the way the SEC wants to do it. So the ACC, the Big 12, now Notre Dame with the SEC on the 5-11. Get a feeling maybe we're going to do that 5-11 thing, don't you?
Yeah, it seems like the Big Ten might be a little outnumbered here.
Yeah, by a lot of people.
Right. So, I mean, what will be the deciding factor in all of this? I don't know. But if it's a majority rule situation here, it does not seem like things will be going the way that the Big Ten would like to see them go.
Yeah, and then there's I saw Morgan in the chat room just moments ago talking about he thinks South Carolina upsets Clemson. There's a big push from ESPN. They're trying to get that Clemson-South Carolina game. It probably won't happen again this year, but they want Clemson-South Carolina to sort of move their rivalry, ESPN does, to Black Friday. to make it a Black Friday, probably day game in the middle of the day on Friday. I think we get Georgia Tech on that Friday this year. I sort of like it when we move those rivalry games a little bit off of that Saturday to where we don't have them all on one Saturday. I like having them on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and that Saturday a little bit.
Spread the wealth. Spread the wealth. Then it's not, I feel like it's hard, especially doing, what we all do when there are so many big games on one day.
That's
and
right.
You're either in person or doing shows covering, one or two specific teams. You can't watch them all.
I like moving those rivalry games to Thursday and Friday. Maybe we'll get Clemson, South Carolina moved to that Black Friday one day. Let's bring in a guy that knows a little bit about the ACC-SEC rivalry. He's our quarterback, Danny Kanell, who jumps on the show, CBS Sports, Sirius XM. Squeeze in a little time with DK today. Danny, how's your summer going, man?
What is up, Jim? My favorite guest on Dusty and Danny in the morning. It really does. It brightens up my day. Like, you listen on your way into work. You're also my fact checker, because if Dusty and I say something, you're always all over it. And like, hey, no, or like a researcher. Like, you are a jack of all trades, and I am here for it, man. It's good to catch up with you.
Way to let everybody know that I text and drive on the way to work sometimes, letting Danny and Dusty know something. Taylor Korn here, our social media director. She's alongside the other two guys who are on vacation. If you're expecting the better questions from Brownie or LT, they're not here today. Listen, man, I was on my way into work today and heard you and Philpott in my 6 o'clock hours. I was driving to work talking about Florida State being maybe one of the hardest teams to handicap this year, and I was like, I agree 100%. I don't know what we're getting with your Seminoles.
Neither do I. And I think a lot of Florida State fans and people that cover the program are a little shell-shocked after what you saw last year. And it's totally understandable, right? I mean, and I was doing some win totals with the Cover 3 pod. And, typically on a year coming into a season with Florida State, you would chalk up a lot of, games as wins. I don't feel that confident this year after what we saw last year. Because last year, I would have gone in and I would have said, all right, we're going to beat Boston College at home, like automatic. Don't even think about a loss. Memphis at home, that's a W all day long. Duke on the road, a program that we hadn't lost to in program history, that's an easy W. And we lost all of those games. And that's just 3 of them. That doesn't include the other 9 that we lost. But I will say, this is also the program that Mike Norvell was able to turn around and turn into a national championship contender just 2 seasons ago. So, could we get that again? Potentially. Could they be a surprise upside team? Potentially. If the Gus Malzahn experiment works with Tommy Castellanos, because it's a quarterback that, fits what he wants to do, which is be really mobile and, run the football and take advantage of some play action pass, then yeah, they could be an upside surprise. But I think people are just very, very cautious in chalking up those W's, as am I. And also the start of the season, that Bama game is lingering right around the corner. Just 1 month, from today, August 30th, we're going to see that game, and they're already a 12.5-point underdog. I am genuinely concerned if that game goes sideways, do we see a team throw in the towel again after they've been so fractured from what we saw last year?
That's something that we were actually just talking about. And Dunaway, being the Alabama guy that he is, said that Gus Malzahn being the offensive coordinator for Florida State this year makes him a little bit uneasy about
haunts me. It haunts me.
Yeah.
He's beaten Alabama so many times.
So does that give you a little extra confidence going into the season opener, considering he's had success against Alabama in the past, or is it, is that kind of irrelevant at this point?
Taylor, I wish I could just come on here and talk some smack, but I really worry that I would set myself up to potentially be eating a lot of crow later. We need to get Dunaway to Tallahassee. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be there with CBS. We're doing a little pregame show from outside, and Damian Harris, former Alabama running back, is going to be on set with me, and he's talking all kind of trash. And I'm I don't want to go back at him because I know what's going to happen. He's going to make some bet that's totally over the top, and I'm going to have to do something stupid. And, of course, you have to back your alma mater. But I do think that is the one thing that kind of gives you a little bit of hope, right, is what sprinkles can Gus throw. He's a great offensive mind. I think this might be a great situation for him, kind of to catch his breath, to really do what he really, cut his teeth and came into the business, was being an offensive mind. Now that he doesn't have to worry about being a head coach and managing so many players, he can just focus on the offense. They're going to have to scheme up some things because Alabama's defense, especially their defensive line, might be one of the best, if not the best, in the SEC. So I don't picture Florida State just lining up with two backs in the backfield and running it right at Alabama's defense. But that's the good news, is Gus hasn't been known for that. A lot of misdirection, a lot of quarterback run, which does neutralize a disadvantage that they're going to have along that defensive front.
Go ahead and make that bet, man, but don't get into head shake.
Are you going to go? Dun, what do we got to do to get you in Tallahassee?
Man, I got friends who are at Florida State. They've got suites at the stadium there, so I have the open invitation to go sit in their suite. But they told me I couldn't wear Bama gear. I can't wear. I got a new hat that says "Spend my dollar," and they said I can't wear that hat. So I've got to dress neutral if I sit in their box.
Yeah, but the box sounds like the way to go. 3:30 in Tallahassee. I don't know if there's going to be many hotter places on the planet than 3:30 in Tallahassee for a kickoff. The other thing that's interesting, I don't know if you guys saw this, with the renovations they made, only 67,000 is the capacity there, which I know some Florida State fans were upset about. I think you kind of let it play out, see how it goes. I've always felt the belief that once you get 50,000 fans in the stands and they're all as loud as they can be, there's not that much difference in 50 and 100, but they're going to put that to the test. I think they'll be loud. I think they'll be ruckus. But that was something Florida State fans a little bit upset about. But the issue is there's too many empty seats versus Wake Forest and Virginia or a Boston College come to town. I think you'll have a little bit of a better, fuller stadium against some of those lesser ACC opponents.
That was the most ACC thing you've ever said in your life. There's not much difference between 50 and 100,000. I mean, that is...
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go out. You can't hear yourself if there are... Especially if you get a venue like, I don't know what Notre Dame Stadium, but we were there in 93. It's not the biggest venue. It's not like a cathedral, but they were on top of you. I mean, literally, they warned us before the game. They said, keep your helmets close to you because the fans could actually reach over like from right behind you and steal them. Now, they've since backed it off a little bit, and they've widened the kind of sideline atmosphere there. But I think it's always how close they are. That's why I think Ohio State, Michigan, they get mentioned as some of the loudest stadiums in the country. I've been at both in big games. They're not anywhere near as loud as some of the stadiums that you get in the SEC. And it's not really their fault. They're trying to get as loud as they can. They're just so far removed and the stadium acoustics go out. I mean, Ohio State has a track around it. So like you're already that much further removed. So I'm standing by my theory of 50,000 can be just as loud as 100,000.
Yeah. Now, Brian Denny, there's space on the sideline, so it's not on top of you like it should be. But I have a philosophy. If you can stand on the 50-yard line and see trees outside the stadium, like most of your ACC stadiums, it can't be that loud. I'm
not making the case that ACC stadiums are the loudest in the country. Yeah. I'm saying they have the potential to be. Now, they have a long way to go to try to even replicate anything that you've seen in the SEC. I'm just saying they have the potential to be loud.
Okay, what's one thing you did some media? You did some media days away from the house there. What was one thing you learned you didn't know at media days that was a big takeaway from you? Something that maybe somebody that impressed you, maybe you feel better about a team, a player or something. What was your biggest media day takeaway?
So I was in Las Vegas for Big Ten Media Days. A couple things. One, and this is after watching SEC Media Days and Big Ten Media Days, like in the following weeks, the line is drawn in the sand. And we've known this, but I was kind of blown away at how everyone has bought into the company line. Whether it was the SEC, it was 5+11, and almost every single coach was pounding the table for that, except Eli Drinkwitz went off the rails a little bit, and he probably had a talking to from Sankey, said, hey, we need to pull everybody back in. But at the Big Ten, almost the same thing. It was, and I love this because I'm not a fan of the committee. Most of the coaches were like, we don't want a committee. We want to play it on the field, and we want the four AQs. But the amount of everyone being on the same page was pretty stark contrast, like to see those two opposing forces. And then from a team perspective, I was pretty blown away by Penn State. Like I am trending towards probably picking them to win the Big Ten and maybe even the national championship. you saw a maturity out of them that I think you saw at Michigan a couple years ago. You saw at Ohio State last year. They're bringing back players that could have jumped to the NFL. Both running backs are back. They go make the big splashy hire to bring in Jim Knowles to run the defense. But just from the player's perspective, Nick Dawkins, who is Daryl Dawkins' son, he's Brian Dawkins, the former Philadelphia Eagles cousin. He's their center. One of the best personalities I've talked to at a media days, like since I've been in this business. Like, and he was just infectious, but he also was very mature in his answers. Like, they're aware of the expectations and they're embracing it, but they're not overblowing it, if that makes sense. James Franklin's always impressive. And then Drew Aller, I was very curious to see where their quarterback was sort of confidence-wise. I think he's very comfortable in his own shoes. I think he realizes the pressure that's on him. And Nick Dawkins said to me something that I thought was really interesting, his center, because I was asking him, hey, how do you see him? How does he handle himself? And he said, look, everyone knows he's probably the most player with the most pressure and scrutiny on him in all of college football because he needs to take that next step. But he said no one puts more pressure on themselves than Drew Aller. And I really like that perspective because he's aware of it. He's pushing himself. He said he lost some weight, got into even better shape. And I do think year 2 in their offensive system, remember they brought in Andy Koltnicki, the offensive coordinator from Kansas.
Yep.
I think that comfort level, I was asking him about that. And he's like, oh, I'm so much more familiar with the terminology, able to get through my play calls at my checks at the line of scrimmage. I think that was big. So I know it's not like really I was impressed by the favorite, by the Big Ten media, like picked Penn State to win. But I did feel like even better about leaning their way to pick them as the Big Ten championship, the Big Ten title.
We talked to Taylor Tannenbaum earlier this week about ACC Media Days, and a player that she was very impressed with was Carson Beck. How do you see the transition from Georgia to Miami going for Carson Beck?
Taylor, my guy Dusty said the same thing. He was at ACC Media Days covering them, and he said the one player that impressed him was Carson Beck. I did tell Dusty that he said the same thing 2 years ago when Carson Beck was making the rounds for Georgia. Like, there's no doubt he can handle himself in front of a microphone, but how does he – there's a lot of question marks for me with Carson Beck. Is one, how does he do without Brock Bowers, without Aladdin McConkey, two guys who I think are even better than we realized in college. Like, we just saw maybe one of the best tight end seasons in the NFL from Brock Bowers, and we saw Aladdin McConkey as like this pleasant surprise of how well he played in the NFL. So he doesn't have them. I don't think he's going to have the supporting cast that he had at Georgia as far as the defense goes, even though their defense wasn't quite as dominant. And then you've got a major surgery like that we haven't seen many times, coming back from this elbow surgery that Carson Beck is back from, which did cost him, a lot of time to be getting reps with receivers an entire offseason. So you're kind of cramming that all together. And I got a lot of heat from Miami fans because we were doing a bold predictions. And when I hear bold predictions, I get kind of excited because I'm like, that to me opens you up to give outrageous takes. Like, they're supposed to be bold. You don't want to come limping in with a take. And my bold prediction was Miami was going to miss a bowl game. And Miami fans lost their minds. I also understand that Miami could be playing in the ACC title game. But if you lay it out, the way their season and the way the expectations are unfolding, it's not that dissimilar to what Florida State went through a year ago. They're counting on transfer quarterback who's coming in with, a little bit of a checkered past, on the field as far as how there's been inconsistencies. They're relying on some portal players to step up. And the schedule it's not favorable for Miami. If they start off a little bit rough and their schedule's not easy, that Notre Dame game week 1, they play Florida early. If they fall behind the 8 ball, that's where I wonder in today's game where you have transfers that come in and they're sort of hired guns and just today's players' mentality becomes more like the NFL, where if you start facing some adversity, there's not a lot of pride for your university. Like, there's not a lot of, well, we have to go out there because, we're playing for the fan base and we're playing for the history of the program. A lot of these guys don't understand the history of the program, and they just want to pay for the paycheck. Like, as long as the check clears, then I'm good. And you start going through the motions. Meanwhile, you're still the Miami Hurricanes. You're going to get everybody else's best shot, and all of a sudden things can kind of fall apart. So I don't think that happens. It's not a prediction. It was a bold prediction for a reason, but they do have to get off to a fast start, or I wonder how the season goes for the Canes.
All right. Before you go, and I know you're short on your time, I'm not even sure your quarterback skill set makes the Kanell medal stand. in just my short time of listening and following you. Number 3, I put your broadcasting skill, bronze medalist. Silver medalist is your golf game. But your dad, you're a great dad, a gold medal dad. A lot of our viewers and listeners, kids go back to school here in Alabama next week. A lot of them are athletes. Taylor was Vestavia High School's all-time leading scorer in soccer. Decided she did not want to play in college. Motivation, keeping your kids encouraged. Give the dads out there who are watching a tip on keeping their kids encouraged through sports or anything else this school year. Give it to me, DK. Super dad. What do you do? What do you do in your house?
I love hearing that Taylor was a soccer player. My youngest is a soccer player. She wants to play in college. She's only 13. My oldest just committed to Elon to play volleyball. So she's going to be a senior in high school, but she's going to go play volleyball at Elon. My middle's kind of figuring it out. But I've taken the same approach, and I'm actually going to start. There's actually something I'm going to announce here in the next few weeks because it's sort of a passion project of mine to address the parenting crisis that we have in youth sports. Like, I have been shocked at some of the things that I've seen in youth sports. When I was caddying for my daughter, she used to play golf when she was younger. I saw dads cursing out their 10-year-old daughters, like, because they missed a putt. I'm like, what are we doing? When I watch youth sports, I see parents like so stressed out. You can sense the tension, like you can cut it with a knife. And I'm always relaxed. Like, one of my favorite things to do is watch my daughters compete, not win or lose, but I want to see them trying their best, having fun while they're on the field. And if the results come, then great. But the majority of athletes are not going to get a scholarship. A majority of athletes are not going to turn pro. Keep things into perspective. I get that it gets stressful because there's so much money involved and it gets very expensive. If it becomes something where it's stressful to you financially, then I think you need to reevaluate your priorities. And maybe as opposed to playing travel or club, have them play with a rec league where it is all about what it's supposed to be about. Keep having fun the main thing. I honestly, the transferring I see that we see in college, you see it happen in high school. And even younger, you see kids hopping from club team to make sure they can get playing time or starting time. It is outrageous, some of the stuff I see. So we need to really dial back some of the expectations and the stress that we put on our kids that are playing youth sports, boys and girls. Realize sports are about having fun. Yes, they're about building character, which is one of and toughness and how to interact with other people. But let's remember, sports are about having fun. So go watch your kids, support them, but have fun. Make sure fun is the priority, or else they're going to lose their love for the sport they're playing.
That's the Danny Kanell I love right there. See? Everybody's always bashing. Why are you friends with this guy? That's my guy right there.
Hold on, though. I'm a little disappointed. I got my golf club championship trophies. I'm a little disappointed to have me at number 2 on that one. Like, I've got a pretty nice golf set up here too with some club championships. So I'm a little disappointed. Yeah. I'm still trying to call out McElroy. He's afraid to play me.
Well, you won't back up Florida State, and you think you can beat Greg McElroy in golf? McElroy will school you in golf.
I'm probably going to have to give Greg strokes, to be honest. I mean, to make it fair, I'm probably going to have to give him some strokes.
Oh, you will.
And I know you guys have Joel Klatt on. Joel Klatt's another one. Like, he's got really good game. I can't chase him down either. So I'm looking for a game for Joel Klatt as well.
What about Peter Burns, SEC Network? Would you take Peter on?
Peter Burns, that might be the number 1 target on my list because he's a college golfer. And those guys they come out there with all the latest gear, and I'm sure he'll be dressed to the nines, and he'll definitely have the SEC belt on with all the different teams wrapped around it. Peter Burns might be number 1 on the list who I want to take down.
What about Hugh Freeze?
Oh, yeah, what about Hugh Freeze?
I'm sure he'd agree.
Hugh Freeze might be one I'm scared of because I can't figure out his real handicap. Like, I know there's multiple handicaps there on the GIN system. Hugh Freeze might be the one that scares me the most.
Oh, Kanell, you're amazing, man. We'll try to work it out. I think GMAC takes you down, man.
All right.
Especially if you come and play here at Birmingham Country Club of Birmingham or Shoal Creek. I think GMAC takes you down, man.
Woo! Oh, it's on now. Yeah. We'll figure out a bet. We'll go high stakes for that one.
Thank you for helping me out, Danny. Appreciate you, buddy.
Great talking to you guys as always. We'll see you.
Danny Kanell there, CBS Sports. On 3, Sirius XM, Florida State legend. Not enough to where he's backing up Florida State, though. Afraid to make that bet with Damian.
See, I don't know that he feels great about this season opener.
Yeah. EG in the next segment from Auburn Camp. We'll hear more from Hugh Freeze also in the next segment. Lane Kiffin, before we get to break, a couple of our great sponsors. If you're looking for a bank that truly gets you, that's our friends at Central State Bank. I'm so excited they're part of our family here now because that's the bank in my neighborhood growing up. Central State Bank, 6 locations in Shelby County, 1 in Alexander City. Central State Bank offers products and services designed to meet a wide range of individual and commercial needs because no two needs are the same. With over 100 years of service, Central State Bank is proud to be large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you, rooted in the community, driven by relationship. Great for mortgages, too. That's Central State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Also, our friends at New York Butcher Shop, 2 great locations of the New York Butcher Shop, open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Some people may forget, if you're driving home, New York Butcher Shop is open all the way till 7 o'clock every day except Sunday. They're located in Cahaba Heights and on 119 just off Highway 280. Certified Angus beef, all the high choice and prime cuts for you there, always freshly cut to guarantee juicy and delicious results. They offer great pork chops, pasture-raised chickens, in-house made sausage, and some of my favorites, the prepared entrees and dips. New York Butcher Shop, nybutcher.com. Go by and see Jim today. Tell him we said hi. Cahaba Heights and Highway 119 for our friends at New York Butcher. Alabama and Auburn out today on the practice field. We talked Georgia football today on the practice field. Yesterday, Hottie Toddy got on the practice field. Ole Miss reloading, not rebuilding. Got those great helmets out there. That's Austin Simmons, the lefty, slinging it at quarterback there. Everybody raving about the new starter there in Oxford, Mississippi. Lane Kiffin gets asked about expectations and standards with his program.
To be in a position where we have these attendance records being set, sold out season tickets already, 3 10-win seasons in the last 4 years. The previous 51 years there was 3 top 12 finishes in the last 4 years, and 1 the previous 51 years is really gives me perspective about what our players and staff have been able to do here. So, that's the standard that we've created. It's the expectations that we have. 21 wins in the last 2 years. So, these players have been talked to a lot about that, and that's hopefully why they came here, was understanding that, what we've been able to achieve and the level that we want to play at and expect to play at. 3 winningest programs since COVID in the SEC, including the new programs, are Georgia, Alabama, and Ole Miss. And that's our expectation and standards of how we expect to play.
So that's the stat that jumped to me, that since the COVID season, so 21, 22, 23, 24, 3 winningest programs in the SEC, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss.
Yeah, and they don't have much to show for it in terms of it's like
That's fact.
what I think it was you that made the comment about Oregon's football facility. When was it Klatt that was talking about
building a new building?
Yeah, but trophy case still bare.
Yeah, got a Big Ten championship, no national championships. Jackson Dart, such a big part of Lane's success. But here's cut 7, Tyler. Austin Simmons, the quarterback, he's got to go fill Jackson Dart's shoes. You saw him on the field there tossing it around. A lot of people there thinking Austin Simmons may keep the ball rolling for Lane's offense.
Not that anybody's making a comparison to Jackson Dart, but if you were to talk about kind of filling his shoes, those are really big shoes to fill. How are you kind of, manufacturing that moving forward towards the first game and kind of making your way for Austin versus what Ole Miss fans had with Jackson last year?
I'm not really focused on filling shoes, really just focusing on doing as much as I really can, being the best player I could be day in, day out, and just progressing overall as a player, but also as a human being off the field, and just being the best quarterback I can be for this program.
Okay, so that's Austin Simmons and Ole Miss. They're out there. Auburn has had their news conference and player availabilities later today. The practice begins. Emily Grace McWhorter will spend some time with her coming up on the other side in the final segment of our show today. That's being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jennifer Michelson, leaders in the field of LASIK eye surgery. They've been doing it for decades now. One of the best decisions Lance ever made right there at Michelson Laser Vision. Go to michelsonlaservision.com to see all the services they offer. Just get a consultation like I did. I wasn't a candidate, but most people are. I'd say 90% of the people are absolutely candidates to end the problems with farsightedness, with being farsighted, nearsighted. Get rid of those glasses forever. michelsonlaservision.com, michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
New Life Art is proud to announce Daniel A. Moore's upcoming Alabama basketball painting, Buzzer Beater. Closing out the regular season, Alabama and Auburn faced off in a top 10 matchup. With less than 1 second remaining in overtime and the game tied at 91, Mark Sears launched a 15-foot floater that sealed the Tide's victory. Visit DanielMooreArt.com and see the artist's preliminary sketch of this historic Bama win. And take advantage of special pre-production pricing for Buzzer Beater.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
As we all know, there's no off-season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Alabama, join us over on covercrimson.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on covercrimson.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
All right, back with you on the next round. EG standing by. We're going to get to her. I'm going to tell you about Dr. B first, but earlier in the show, go ahead and get this out of the way. Hugh Freeze did say that Malcolm Simmons had been cleared by the university for team activities. Doesn't mean there's not a suspension or penalties or anything that Hugh and the coaching staff will do, but as far as the Title IX part of the university is concerned, he has been cleared after his arrest earlier this year and the allegations that were against him. So he's been cleared through the university for team activities. The coaching staff will handle all the football stuff as practice starts this afternoon. Before we bring in Emily Grace McWhorter, who continues her campus tour, Dr. B, Dr. Michael Beckenstein, continues his restoration of Lance's and Ryan's hair. He saved Lance because they caught it in time from going bald. Working with Brownie right now. Dr. B can handle a variety of treatments, and you can see them all right now and get a consultation at his website, msbmd.com, msbmd.com. Let's talk about that hair loss. By the time I met Dr. B, it was too late for me. It was a desolate, bald area up there, and Dr. B said, Jim, nothing I can do about it. But as you can see in the video right there, he has several treatments that are tailored to your needs, including that laser treatment that he's put the guys through that actually works. Dr. B on his website, standing by, msbmd.com. Speaking of standing by, Emily Grace McWhorter today down in Auburn. 6:47, I'm coming one way on 280 to work. 6:47, she's going into the sunset on her way down to Auburn for the Hugh Freeze news conference. You made it safely. What's it like driving into the sun at 6:47 in the morning on the way to another news conference?
Bright, Dunaway, very bright. And you get the, I don't want to call it a benefit, but the unfortunate circumstance when you're driving to Auburn, you have the sun, and when you're driving home at night, you have the sun. You know, it was an easy drive. I got caught at every red light on 280, but I made it here. And as you guys know, practice viewing availability got bumped about 6 hours. So I'm holding it down here, and we'll give you guys an update here later this evening on what we see at practice.
So what was your biggest takeaway? There were obviously a number of things circulating the internet that came out of Hugh Freeze's first press conference of the fall camp season, which isn't really surprising because that tends to happen the majority of the time that Hugh Freeze steps in front of a microphone. But walking out, what was your biggest takeaway?
Great question. We could spend probably the rest of the show talking about it because, like you, I was expecting some colorful things to be said, and we definitely got that. If you know what I'm talking about, you can go to Twitter and check that out. X. The Jackson Arnold comfortability and confidence. This is something, guys, that I'm confused by it. And I was on with our friends, Chris Doring and Peter Burns, right after the press conference, and we were talking about it as well. And to give some context, he stated today, Hugh Freeze, that the number one priority for Auburn during practice is that the quarterback leaves confident. There has been conversations with defensive coordinator DJ Durkin to ensure that that happens. And there's two camps for this, right? On one hand, if we see Jackson Arnold against Baylor and he has a standout performance, he has a swagger about him, he has confidence in decision making, he's not scrambling, he feels good and it's visually there for us to see, then Hugh Freeze looks like a genius to kind of reacclimate him into this landscape after a tumultuous year at OU. On the other hand, if we see a Jackson Arnold against Baylor that looks uncomfortable, that looks pressured by the defense, that looks that he's not making good decisions in the pocket, everyone will be talking about these comments that Hugh Freeze made. And why wouldn't they? Because what you're conveying to all of us is, hey, at the expense of my defense, and Chris Doring put it as he's almost undermining the team to prop Jackson Arnold up by being so vocal that their goal is to make sure that he leaves confident. I don't know what you guys think about that, but for me, it's a risky game that they're playing, and I don't think that it should be as widely spread from Coach Freeze it is right now.
Yeah, because I'm not going to feel confident because I feel like I'm, in my opinion, EG, and Hugh's won more games than me. I didn't like it when my dad let me win when we played games, whether it was pick up basketball in the yard or Monopoly. Right. I want you to play your best. There's no satisfaction
Exactly. And I think that that's an element to this. If I'm, obviously I'm not a defensive player in college football in an Auburn uniform, obviously, but if I'm one of those guys and I'm thinking about, I have to hold myself back to ensure the confidence of my quarterback, that doesn't give me confidence in really anything. And behind the scenes, how it's being executed in practice, maybe it's different. Maybe, it's coming across differently. But outside looking in and the context that we've been given, it feels like they're kind of putting bubble wrap on Jackson Arnold after coming off a year where the quarterback position had so many issues surrounding it. Quarterback management with Hugh Freeze has been something that has been called into question during his time at Auburn at the very least. And I don't feel like they're setting up Arnold for success, because what happens when he doesn't make the play? What happens when he takes a sack? What do you say? Do you put it on Hugh Freeze because they babied him at practice? Do you say that it wasn't fair to Jackson Arnold to have an approach be that way? What do you do?
I have so many thoughts about all of this, because today wasn't the first time that he said that. No. And it's been, I believe he said it to y'all at the Regions Tradition, 4 months ago?
It was the first time I'd heard it when he said it to us, yeah.
And it's been discussed a number of times since then.
Yep.
And, I mean, there are so many different ways to look at it. And like you said, EG, we don't know how it's being executed. All we know is how he's been portraying it when asked about it, or, when he brings it up himself. And you can take that and then you can look at that however you want to. But all of these guys, not just at Auburn, but all of these guys that are playing Division I football in general, are competitors. And I think, the best way to build Jackson Arnold's confidence back up isn't necessarily by, like the analogy that Dunaway made, letting him win. It's by making sure that he is as prepared as he can be, and that he has confidence on the field game one. Because building up confidence in practice when you know that, things might be taken a little bit easier on you than they typically would be, that, I don't really know that builds up your confidence, because that gives it potential to get beat right back down the first time that you're stepping out on the football field publicly.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I think that nothing matters until it's a Saturday, right? You can have all the confidence in the world. You can, be performing extremely well. You can be executing. But at the end of the day, if it's not a W in the column come Saturday, it doesn't matter. And with this position, it's a very interesting approach. And I just don't see this going well. I think that there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you put your quarterback in this position. And to me, I hold the stance of your practices should be so intense that a game day is a relief.
Give me one more thing on your takeaway from the news conference. Anything else we didn't get to before you go hydrate before you get out there in the 100-degree practice?
Hot. I would say there's a lot of expectations. Again, that's nothing new with Auburn. That's nothing new since Hugh Freeze got here. And I actually asked them, guys, I said, what has hindered you and your team from reaching those expectations? How does that change? He gave a bit of a non-answer. He said that this could be a really, really exciting team, and they have to have that confidence, like you mentioned, Taylor, and translate that into winning games. So I think that the expectations for Auburn are still there. That's actually their word, and their theme is expectant. And that comes across, in some social media stuff that they've posted. Coach Freeze said that he took a trip to the cabin in the woods, and that was what was kind of impressed on him to convey to his team. So today at practice, I'm going to be very curious how much I'm able to pick up on of this confidence and comfortability that Jackson Arnold has. I've mentioned it before, but Auburn is pretty good about, we get to see a little more than, for example, Alabama. They do a great job of, basically leading us in the opposite direction and making sure we don't see anything that we really want to see. Whereas Auburn, there's a little more freedom to observe and get to see somewhat behind the scenes. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. But it's hot down here, and I'm just excited that my car vlogs and fall camp updates are back. It means that we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, and I'm right. You're in Tuscaloosa again tomorrow. That's right.
Tomorrow, practice availability
and offensive coordinator. I want to say Ryan Grubb is available, or offensive players. I need to double check that.
All right. So EG on campus back in Tuscaloosa tomorrow, by the way, for those wondering, expectant, an adjective, having or showing an excitement, feeling that something is about to happen, especially something pleasant.
I sure do hope so.
Yeah, expectant. I'm expectant to see you tomorrow, EG. Safe travels.
Bye, guys.
All
Bye,
right. EG with us on-campus tour, brought to you in part today by our buddy Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, a national firm with Southern roots right there, headquartered here in Birmingham, Alabama, 24 years. This firm has grown to over 150 lawyers, elite trial lawyers who have recovered over $2 billion while maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. If you find yourself in the need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case.
There's no doubt you need length and girth up front. Length matters.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
That didn't take long. Trash brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Tyler's got our trash again today, not just on Thursdays this week. That's 4 downs, Jim.
That's 4 downs, yeah.
Anyway, trash, what's happening, Tyler?
Well, what's happening is I completely forgot to print trash, so I need to pull it up real quick.
That sounds familiar.
I was about to say.
That's a Lance move if I've ever seen one. That's happened before.
Oh, yeah. It's happened
16 years. That's happened once or twice to Lance.
Let me find it. Here it is. All right. So a man was recently awarded $12,500 from Google after the Google Street View camera caught him naked in his yard.
Wait a second. If he's in his yard naked, that's his problem.
Well, he was behind a dividing wall that was about 7 feet tall.
Oh, that's different now.
Yeah. And so his argument is, I'm behind the privacy wall. I built it for privacy so people aren't just looking into my yard.
That's right. I mean, if I've got friends who have a pool and they have a very tall fence because, sometimes you don't want tan line with the dresses you're wearing, right? And they expect the ability to lay out in their own backyard with a tall privacy fence and neighbors not close by and don't expect to be seen. They don't want the dress lines, the tan lines. So, I mean, if there's a privacy wall, I can understand. Didn't seem like a lot of money, but I can understand why.
That's what I was about to say. How did they land on $12,500?
I'm not sure how they came up with that number, but the issue was not only did they take a picture of him naked, they didn't bother blurring any of it.
Yeah.
So judges were saying that he walked around in inappropriate conditions in the garden of his home, and Google said the fence isn't high enough. But then another court overruled it and said he's behind a fence, and Google had all of the opportunities at their disposal to blur this, to protect his privacy, and they just chose not to.
Yeah, there's technology to just wipe him out of the scene altogether.
Right.
Yeah, and there's been plenty of cases where faces and images have been blurred on Google Street View. And this wasn't. So this led to a bunch of ridicule and mockery at work for this guy, and he finally got $12,000 out of it.
So it was a cold day. $12,500
He was in the pool.
Doesn't seem enough, to be honest with you.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
for emotional distress.
I mean, I should have called Alexander Shunnarah. Would have got any more money, I promise you.
Yep. And then next up in a place a little bit closer to us in North Carolina.
Oh, I'll tell you what happened right here.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Lightning strike.
You're correct.
Oh, look at this.
This guy was streaming on Twitch, like we often do, when he got struck by lightning inside his house. Yep. He streams under the name Crispy Mate. His name's Christian Howard, and he was just about to end the live stream and say goodbye when this happened. This is him getting shocked. The lightning traveled all the way up his earbuds, and he said he could feel it. He says, "Bro, I just got struck by lightning. I felt lightning go through my earbuds." The earbuds were partially made out of metal, and that's what caused that. And he described what it felt like when he got struck, saying if you were to take a gum strip gag toy and just pull it and you get that little zap. I got both those sensations, and then all my vision went white, and then I bolted.
Yeah.
So despite this shocking image on the live stream, Howard said he wasn't seriously hurt at all. He said, it felt amazing when I woke up. I went straight to the gym, had the best workout of my life. It just feels like a giant drum. Just someone beating the drum in your eardrum.
Okay, but first of all, I mean, he's not struck by lightning. This is collateral damage of a lightning strike nearby.
Yes, he was electrocuted by a lightning strike, but not directly struck by lightning.
Wow.
I have been buzzed before when I announced Little League baseball games at Alabaster. It was a metal, old-school stand microphone that I would announce in. And, you know, it's just electricity in the air. Lightning struck. I don't know where it struck in the ballpark, but it was enough that I felt a zap in my microphone. So I guess it ran through the electrical wires, and I was holding the microphone, and it hurt. I mean, not enough to where I cried. It didn't burn my hands or anything, but I felt it. I guess sort of like a battery or what. I've never touched an electrical fence before that keeps cows or something in place, but it felt like an electrical fence would feel touching that. So I can see this as this happened. I've told this story, and we've told a lot of our own stories over and over again over 16 years, but I lived with my grandmother growing up, and I moved out of the house when I was 18, but and never went back. But in my teenage years, it was when I could drive. So it was between 16 and 18. I don't remember exactly what year, but my room was upstairs, right corner of the house, of my grandfather's and grandmother's house. That was my room. And while I was out, now my grandparents did not go to church, but they were very religious people. While I was out, I was not always the best child, gallivanting around. Lightning went through the roof of our house and burned my mattress. And they smelled the smoke and went and was able to extinguish it. But there was a burned spot inside the mattress and a problem with our roof, a hole in our roof from a lightning strike. And that had to be repaired to know Greg in Pell City back in those days in the 80s.
Was Greg's dad in the same business?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be great. And my grandmother swears that I was out doing devilish stuff, and that was God sending me a message. That was her takeaway to me.
My immediate reaction to that was, thank God you snuck out.
Yeah, thank God I was out after midnight, and I missed that storm, that lightning strike, because it was right there. It wasn't, you know, everybody's got a side of the bed.
Yeah.
Like nobody sleeps in the middle. Do you sleep in the middle?
No.
Yeah. You either on the left side or the right side. I was closer to the door, not the wall. It was closer to the wall than it was. So it wasn't my side of the bed, but
you still would have felt it.
But see, that's the way I should have played it. No, Nanny, this was God's way of taking care of me. I wasn't in that bed. I was out gallivanting around.
Yeah.
I should have played that. She would have slapped me backhanded me though. She'd been like, be in before midnight. What else?
Finally, we've got these rankings from Rolling Stone. Since Happy Gilmore 2 recently came out, Rolling Stone ranked all 46 of Adam Sandler's movies to celebrate. I'm just going to give you the top 15.
I saw this, and controversial. One of them is.
Yeah, there's a little bit of controversy. I'm just going to go through the top 15 because 46 would take all day.
Yep.
Number 46, though, is Jack and Jill. For anyone who has seen it, it is absolutely terrible. Adam Sandler plays Jack and Jill. And there's a bit where Al Pacino does a commercial for Dunkin' Donuts.
I didn't even know this movie existed.
It's terrible.
So fitting at 46. Tyler doing multiple jobs today?
Yeah, I'm juggling stuff today.
It's okay.
All right. 15 was 8 Crazy Nights. This is the animated Christmas movie.
Okay. Have you seen it or not? Let's do that as we go through that.
I have not seen this one, actually.
Me either.
Nope.
Mr. Deeds. I think this one's super underrated, actually.
Mr. Deeds, where he is the rich guy who adopts a kid?
I think you're thinking of Big Daddy.
Okay.
But, Mr. Deeds is the one where he has a long-distant relative that owned a media company that suddenly passes away, and he inherits like $15 billion.
Oh, wow.
That'd be nice.
I haven't watched that.
He's just a small time pizza shop owner, and he moves to the big city.
Well,
good for him.
I think I'd want to see Mr. Deeds.
I really like this one. A lot of people kind of panned it, especially critics, but that's with every Adam Sandler movie. This one's fun.
I'm writing Mr. Deeds down. Oh, Big Daddy right there.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I like that movie. That was good.
Yeah, this one's fun. Got one of the Sprouses here. I think it's Cole Sprouse. It might be Dylan.
So they're twins.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. They ended up playing on the Disney Channel for the show Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Sweet Life on Deck.
Yep.
Yeah. You had a crush on one of them?
No, I just watched that show as a kid.
Yeah.
Funny People. I haven't seen this one. It's more of a serious movie. But
is it really?
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be more serious.
Yeah.
Even though it's got Seth Rogen and Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Me either.
I haven't seen it.
Is there a chance that he's got cancer and they're enjoying the final time together before he leaves?
Before he leaves?
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
Happy Gilmore 2. That was
number
controversial that it was rated so high.
Yeah.
11. People were like, oh, it's trash, blah, 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 blah. There it is. Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah. And Hustle at number 10. He plays a recruiter for the Philadelphia 76ers. I've heard good things about this, but it's a Netflix original, so I haven't gotten a chance to watch it.
I haven't watched it. I thought it was trash. I had heard, so I never watched that either.
Huh?
Yep.
You don't mess with the Zohan. I think this one's underrated.
I haven't seen one of these.
Yeah.
He immigrates to America to become a hairstylist, and it's odd, but I think it's fun.
Okay.
I have never even heard of this.
Me either.
The Meyerowitz stories, new and selected. It's another one of his Netflix releases, but look at the cast here. You got Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, and Dustin Hoffman. I like the cast.
Yeah. Well, he's usually really good at getting a cast.
Oh yeah, he just asks his friends like, what are you doing in a few months?
Yeah.
You want to be in a movie? We're going here. This is where we're filming.
Yeah, I do think he's well liked by people in the industry.
Oh yeah, he's just known as a great friend to have, someone that always looks out for you, and he's just a fun, down to earth person.
Oh.
50 First Dates at number 7.
Loved it.
I think I may have seen this one. Is it where they keep repeating the same day over and over?
She was in a car accident, spoiler alert, car accident, where she basically wakes up every day with no memory of yesterday, the first date. So he has 50 first dates, 50 straight days of going out with her for the first time.
Okay, yeah. I think I've seen this one, or at least part of it.
True love, because he's not getting a lot out of it.
Yep, he just ends up getting to know her over the course of 50 days, over and over and over again. The Waterboy. I think this one should be number 1. This is my favorite.
I think a lot of people loved The Waterboy. There were a lot of funny moments in Waterboy. Loved it, but would not be my number 1. I would be a 50 First Dates and Big Daddy kind of guy.
Those are both good. Those are both good. The Wedding Singer.
Oh, no, I love The Wedding Singer now. I keep forgetting that's an Adam Sandler movie. Please take that T-shirt off before you break up the band. Great line.
I actually haven't seen this one.
Are you kidding? Okay, well, there's a flashback scene where his girlfriend, who he doesn't like, but they get back together, and she has his T-shirt on, and it's his favorite band. The band ends up breaking up. So, yeah.
Next up, we got Punch Drunk Love. This is Adam Sandler with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and I've heard fantastic things about it. Clips have been popping up on my feed occasionally, and I need to watch this one because it looks like it is really solid.
Yeah, I think that got really good reviews, but maybe I'm wrong. What's next?
Uncut Gems.
Oh, horrible.
This one is the most anxiety-inducing movie I've ever seen, and I'm assuming that's why Jim hates it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a frantic movie. Adam Sandler plays... He's a jeweler with a horrible gambling addiction, And every time he's able to pay one guy off or get a little bit of money to where he could pay the debt off, he immediately goes to the bookie and is just like, give me a 5-leg parlay on this game, this game, this game, and this game. I want the points here. And he's just constantly just running around frantically.
And you're like, stop
trying to get a leg up.
Yeah,
You just want to stop him.
Yeah, it is a really good movie, and I think it reminded everybody what a strong actor Adam Sandler really is. But it's not necessarily a good time to watch. Like, I almost turned it off halfway through because it is so anxiety-inducing.
I agree.
Billy Madison at number 2, which actually is a mistake because, I don't know, I think I typed the file names in wrong or something. But Happy Gilmore 1 is number 2, making Billy Madison number 1.
All right. So the original Happy Gilmore is 2, Billy Madison number 1.
Yep.
I never saw Billy Madison. But I know he's
really
old and he goes back to elementary school.
Yep, that's the basic premise. Rich kid who hasn't had to ever really do anything for himself ends up having to go back through all of grade school to take over his dad's company.
All right, Tyler. I'm sorry we didn't do the other 24 or so. That's Tyler with all the movie clippings of Adam Sandler, the top ratings. Billy Madison, number 1. And that's the end of Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. In this final hour, brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, Sterling and Champy's Chicken in Alabaster. They bring you the final hour every day for over a decade, the same location. Fantastic fried chicken that is brined overnight, cooked to order with all the great homemade sides and desserts right there in Alabaster. Experience all the great time for food and drink and your tailgating. It's our friends with the taste of the Delta, Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Thank you to Danny Kanell and all of our guests. EG's in Tuscaloosa tomorrow. Taylor and I are back tomorrow as well, 9 a.m. Central Time. Forrester and Tyler. Man, I know when the boys aren't here, it's a little extra work on all of every one of you guys. I appreciate you guys supporting me and all of you guys for watching and listening. Thank you for being with us again today. We'll do it again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.